Hey guys, yeah, welcome in. 2 o'clock on a busy afternoon here as we get back to key levels really coming into play once again for both the S&P and the NASDAQ right now. That morning support trying to hold right now for the NASDAQ, still holding on to about 1 full percent to the upside, 0.5% for the S&P 500. That's how the overall S&P 500 is shaping up here so far this afternoon. Weakness in some retail names, weakness in some healthcare names. Also some of the consumer names down here, also pretty red, but everything else nicely green, including what matters, and that is and continues to be semiconductors and the rest of tech outside of, Apple a little bit laggy today. Banks are very strong right across the board, the main ones anyways. I was reading a story about this one as well. KURA about to take out that 20.5 level again. This is the 10-year. Wanted to just highlight the fact that we, once again today, have had a bit of a reversal, not only in yields. There was that 5-year auction that went through. 5-year back to 4.08. The auction went off around 405.5. So the 5-year, the 10-year, and also the 30-year back to the upside. The dollar, though, kind of hanging out, not really doing much, back higher. That's a weekly candle, FYI, but back higher across the board. For yields and the dollar once again this afternoon, there's this crazy move on Airbnb that happened back at 11 o'clock, just as we switched over to the midday show there. We were, it took a while to pop up, but there was a vote apparently over in Europe about regulations that they're considering passing that would actually support short-term rentals throughout the EU. So the initial move was down, but it immediately recovered all of that. But just saw it pop up there again on another volume scanner through 141. So it's kind of grinding its way back down for Airbnb. So for anyone who missed that or didn't see what the reason was, again, the EU actually voting. From what I saw, it looked pretty positive for Airbnb over in Europe, but the initial move downside, it's all about these. That's the SMH semiconductor ETF back to all-time highs. Everything basically in that group. The same story today coming off. It was Netflix that crushed earnings. If you're with us in the first hour this morning, if you missed it, we were discussing Netflix throughout that 8:30 to 9:30 period. Make sure you join us every single day for that. ASML also helping the semiconductor group to the upside today, beating expectations. We'll get Intel later in the week. Let's talk Netflix though, guys. Where was the trade, if there was one today? What a move here for NFLX.
Oh, welcome back, welcome back. I mean, what a sweet day it's been here today. I want to talk about Plug Power, but we could talk about Netflix. I didn't trade it really today. Uh-oh.
No, it's cool, it's cool. It's just...
we elbowed that guy out. What was up with that dude in the midday chat that someone's like, oh, someone said Netflix is going to zero?
It's not going to...
In what hell damn world is that happening?
What is
like, is the US dollar going to zero? These guys have tons of cash. Anyways, it doesn't matter.
I won't survive a zombie apocalypse, so I'll take that bet because I'll probably be dead, so then it's not even much of a concern. Can I ask you a weird request? Do we have any Advil?
What, do you have any Advil? Dun, 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 dun.
We were just talking. Oh, you were waiting to do that?
No. I told you, why don't you take some Advil? And you're like, well, I wasn't
No,
sure.
and I was like, I don't have any.
Oh, well, you know I have Advil, man.
No, I get I get carpal sometimes when trading, and it's acting up this week. It's nothing crazy at all. Like, it's not like a headache or anything. Sean's a bit of a dealer.
In many ways. Randy.
Sponsored by Kirkland brand.
Sponsored by Costco. Hold this, because it's stupid. I already have a mic. Tesla, thank you. No, hey, no problem. Tesla earnings tonight.
Analysts are looking for 72 cents a share. Think they're going to miss the mark. Don't forget, we've had price cuts in China, price cuts across the board. BYD's come on really strong this year. Revenue, I think, will be there because the numbers are good. Sharif calls it Stressler for a reason.
Yeah.
But competition was going to come eventually. So,
Investla or don't Investla?
Buy the dips.
Investla, he said.
Investla, buy the dips.
Buy the dips.
BTFD.
Smell you later.
Thanks, Randy.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. Thank you for the coffee, Randy, there. I think he's probably right with buying dips. I mean, that's sort of what we've been trying to do.
Yeah.
It's a little harder well, I guess easier said than done is kind of what I was looking for there. But I don't know if we can withstand those dips. We'll wait for tonight. I mean, if you bought any dips in Netflix, which we should probably be talking about. Thank you, Randy, for that coffee. And yeah, I didn't hear you mention. I always have Advil. Anyway,
Well, I probably wasn't clear enough about it.
Because when you buy the thing from Costco, it's like, I think it says
100,000.
7,000 tabs in there or something like that. So you definitely, it's not that, Fabian, it's not that much, man, don't relax. These young guys here, yeah, buy it for that. Yeah. Put some like opioids, Advil in there. Okay, so I really feel like the only real trade, I mean, there's obviously going to be trades.
Oxy's bad, people.
Yeah. Don't do drugs.
The only oxy you need in your life is Occidental Petroleum.
Yeah, that's a good one there.
Newly minted shareholder.
Newly minted shareholder for Oxy, so nice
Okay, we're
one there.
supposed to talk about Netflix. I didn't trade it.
Yeah.
Well, look, the thing about Netflix is, and we said this morning, not every stock is an obvious trade, and liquidity sometimes not great. Netflix ended up being a pretty clean breakout. It's not inadvertently. I recently bought Netflix because I decided to give up on Disney, and when I sell something, I put that money either into the broad market or into the sector that is making sense to me. So I just moved the money around. It's sort of a happy accident in my particular case, but there was probably one trade, and that would have just been the clean break of a high, either like the range high or the pre-market high. Since then, it's actually topped out and has been stair-stepping back in with the rest of the market. So congratulations to anybody. If you held long, you're laughing. If you took the breakout long, you're laughing. If you dip bought in the pre-market lows, you are also laughing. But on a day on a good day, you don't necessarily want to complain about something that wasn't part of your plan. If you can execute your plan better, that's always particularly fine. But you shouldn't get FOMO over something you weren't trying to trade. So happy for everybody on Netflix there. Shout out to Bob Ross. What did I say?
Shout out to Bob Ross. No, I see some people in the chat saying they like it when I trade a lot. I'm trying to trade less, to be honest with you. That's why I still have a lot of these positions. $3 in the money on Coinbase, 50 cents on Micron, a couple dimes there on Roblox, Starbucks, 60 cents. These are the same trades. So we just left you guys at 11 o'clock. That's 10:50, that's 10:59. We were shorting Starbucks, came back up, we shorted it again. Now I'm going to take some more out as we break above the 50-period moving average right there for RBLX. So it's not like I'm too actively trading. I mean, Micron, we'll talk about all these. So we're going to get to semis in a minute, but we just took some out again on Micron off of these shorts. So this goes back to the podcast, and Brendan's going to hate me for this, but I actually sold some AMD, some NVDA, and some Meta during lunch.
But the good news is, you went and
got too far too fast.
Bought some Advil, turn a profit.
Yeah. I have something to tell you. That Advil's probably 6 or 8 months old, probably.
Oh, that's just a recommendation. It's good forever.
Yeah. Well, actually, Neil, I have something bad to tell you about that as well. Expiry August 2019. But don't worry. Don't worry, my guy. I'll explain to you. Sharif, you don't worry about that over there, Mr. Pharmacist over there. Look, the thing.
Oh, it's fine.
Oh, I heard you, Sharif.
It only expired 5 years ago.
Come on, Sharif.
What is going on here? First of all.
No, I have a story to tell. This is look. I can't be here because of my looks. Maybe for the trading, fine, but also for some content, So, no. I told you what the plan of action is, man. We buy them and we refill them. So you buy a whole crap load. I have this is my bottle for work.
Okay.
So it's almost, so when we go home, Marissa will buy one of these again.
You would give me
and then,
5-year-old.
Right. We have Advil at home and then Advil here. Yeah. Or do we?
Oh, man. 2019.
Yeah, that's
we were just having this conversation about painkillers specifically, and they don't expire.
No.
They just get weaker as time goes by. So
exactly.
Fine. Take your 5-year-old Advil. Berkshire, all-time highs today. Another one that wanted to buy and didn't. So just noticing that. Good for me. Genius Group, GNS, some people mentioning this, 26% on the day for GNS. There was a note at 11 o'clock this morning. So Genius Group and FatBrain AI agreed to merge into growth platform to accelerate the exponential economy of tomorrow. So GNS and FatBrain are merging.
I've got nothing to say.
I have nothing either. Let's talk semiconductor. People are talking about it. It's moving around. AMD, hey, all-time highs.
Oh, yeah.
There's a trend.
Oh, yeah.
This was one of many, but analysts were busy this morning in the semiconductor group.
Yeah, Brendo, this touched 180, was up a lot higher than it is right now. Multiple upgrades for AMD this week. In fact, actually had a downgrade yesterday, which is probably why it sold off. The real deal today was NVIDIA, AMD, and ASML, because, well, ASML, absolute rocket ship there, especially after the Europe close. It continued to trend higher, beat on both the top and bottom lines, Brendo, and yeah, 51% gross margins.
Just reading Verizon saying customers can get Netflix Premium and Stars together for a discounted $25.99 a month if you're with Verizon.
Hey, Sharif, that'll be like one apple fritter, bro. You can't say real deal. That's copyrighted. No, just, okay, just as long as you know. You owe me a apple.
Someone said yesterday in the after show, the recap show there, that they were on a deal with Verizon, and $75 a year for Netflix. So maybe there's some deals there.
That's all right.
To be had. That's all right. That's all right. Yeah, so that's...
I'm going to just pay whatever they tell me to. So.
Yeah, that's... Oh, yeah. It's like, how much does it cost? Okay, fine. I just had it expire, refund as well. I think it's 20... Here, I think it's just $23.99 or... Maybe it's 99.
Is it 95? I think it's 90.
It's not a year.
No, I mean 20.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, okay.
Doesn't matter.
So you're going to think, like, what kind of a maniac actually goes short AMD, and it's still the #1 stock today for him? Hello, it's me. The thing is though, Coinbase is now #1, but it was for a minute. We just kept shorting and shorting and shorting. And remember, it was like a heart attack on a stick until it eventually broke. The only thing is, eventually, it was going to break. And we talked about that, how lucky we were on this pullback down in. And I was just rapidly, it was right here, just rapid fire there. Then we got a short again and was able to get a little bit out. Those were good ones. Like when you're shorting 176.30 and then getting out and trying to hold and getting them out at 175.80. So that's 50 cents right there just for fun. These are minute charts, minute candles. It was just going rapidly, like, you know, to get 50 cents back in a couple times in a minute, that's pretty ridiculous. And then about 2 minutes later, it busted that high and took it out. So this is how I'm going to always trade these crazy names. If it comes to a level, I could have been shorting 180. That's a mistake. I'll talk about some of the other positions we have on. But anyways, AMD continues to work. I think Neil might talk about Micron, so I'll leave it to him. But my whole thing about Micron is relative strength versus weakness. We saw so much strength in the other names. Maybe that's why you shorted it as well. But I had to short something, I felt like, and Micron was just it. So we're still in it.
I was a little bit, and maybe, so right when we started the morning show, if you're not watching, I know the market opens at 9:30. We started at 8:30 because your preparation is going to matter. And something that happened, I'm going to start with Intel actually before we get to Micron. So something that happened, like Intel was gapped up with all the chip nips. ASML destroyed it, great earnings. I mean, everyone was jazzed up about it. So every single chip name was gapped up, including Intel. Intel then started to fall to the downside because there was a single, I don't know, I saw one analyst initiated it neutral and said some bad things about Intel in 2024. Right? I'm not going to, their opinion is their opinion, is what it is. I still elected to dip buy in front of yesterday's tops. That ended up being a bad decision. But when that flushed, I did have a VWAP retracement short on it, which clearly I should still be in, but I went back to Micron, rolls eyes. But when this started getting back to the upside, I just shorted off the high because to me it was then relatively weak. Micron was why I thought this was actually a better short, and right now Intel at the high is clearly looking better, was Micron didn't get back up to where it gapped to. So it flushed like crazy in the morning and then came back in, rejected this little peak here at 88.30, which lined up with the pre-market low. And then there's once, it was a second one, took it the third time, well, technically like a couple of times in there. And then I reloaded off a lower high. So when it started stair-stepping it down, reloaded the lower high as well. But it just comes down to relative strength and weakness. And we talk about this all the time because it's a simple concept, but sometimes it's really obvious to figure out where it is. Like this thing gets destroyed at the open and then just is underneath the lows. NVIDIA just goes higher and higher and higher, and SMCI does SMCI things at the open that would notwithstanding. It just, you knew which ones were strong and which ones were weak in terms of the chips pretty much right away. And I wish I had just punched into some of the chip names when ASML closed at Europe. So it ended up, this is 11:30. There was an upprint, so it closed after pulling back and then printed up about $3. So the auction, so it had pulled back and then the auction print was up and then it just started running and there was like a second move in all of the chips right at 11:30 when Europe closed. So this was the futures. It kind of gave a hint that some of these names were going to continue to ramp, and you'll see like on NVIDIA, that started, like it was pulling back at 11:30, there's the close, and it just starts to slowly climb again, you know, right there when Europe closed. So probably worth watching, but the problem here is ASML's actually the only chip company that anyone gives a damn about in Europe. So the next time to look at that is going to be next quarter. So you have to wait a quarter to see ASML next.
I'm just going to jump ahead there because Louisa wants to talk a little bit about Coinbase. $4 in the money now on this Coinbase short. We talked about it a couple times. Shout out to Sharif and everybody. Thanks for keep on bringing it up on the midday. I actually tweeted this out. You want to wait for, we saw VWAP a couple times. We took it there a little bit early, but then there it was again. This was 30 cents worth of risk, is now $4 in the money. I don't have an out for Coinbase. So back to the desk.
All right, Tesla, about to break the lows to the downside once again. I was just reading through this note on Tesla from an analyst suggesting that this is going to be bad and downside right across the board. I mean, these are all higher: Wedbush, Deutsche Bank, Goldman Sachs, Truist, and Jefferies, suggesting they beat and everything's fine tonight. But this one basically saying that it's going to be bad and whatever. I mean, basing it off of whatever they think is appropriate. But yeah, here comes day lows, it would appear anyways, for Tesla. I just checked, 4:10 is the noted time. So join Sean after 4 o'clock for the recap. We'll have that when it comes out. I mean, Elon reports whenever Elon wants to report. Let's be honest.
Yeah, the call is going to be really interesting today too, Brendo, because last time he scared a lot of people with that call. He was quite negative last time around. He said interest rates are really killing demand on his cars. He also played down the importance of the Cybertruck in the short term, saying that they wouldn't be able to scale this truck and it wouldn't be profitable for them until another couple of years. So a lot to listen to today on the call. Is it today or is it tomorrow?
It'll be tonight.
It'll be tonight.
It's always the same night. Yeah.
They should report at 4:20.
He will report at 4:20. It's not coming out on time. There's no way. Look, I said that I would still be in this trade. And this is the one scar here today. Look, we're still up on the stock, but the problem is like we saw it. We were right here, right when we went off air. This got back 2 days high. That probably, look, hindsight, obviously, when you're looking at this. And Louisa, I was just about that Coinbase, kind of tongue-in-cheek. There's 122 there. It's the 50-period moving average. I would use that as an out if you wanted it. We're letting it roll. So we'll see if we do have anything coming through on that. Okay, but for Tesla, we just took another fill here at 209. Why? Because it keeps bouncing off 209. Honestly, my fill is coming hopefully down here at 208. Then I'm going to use like 207.50 as my out. I want to stay long Tesla. I think it could bump into the close. If we're wrong, we're wrong. We'll take the hit. But for right now, we're up on Tesla, even holding it right now all the way here. We took a third out, and now average position. We just took a fill right here, so my average is 209.59. So right now we're out of the money. I mean, we took a little bit more shares there, but all we did was take 1-to-1. So we're out of the money now, 70 cents, and I think it's well worth the risk. So that's what I'm doing. Up to you guys. I'm going to wait for that 207.50 to break. I just showed you where it was. It goes back to yesterday's bottom. So if that breaks, we'll get out, but I do have a much bigger order waiting at 208 flat. So that's where I want to sort of dance with Tesla. It could be way off, man. I mean, we're flat on the day on Tesla while the market obviously is heading down now, but the market was significantly up all day while Tesla was fighting to stay up. So yeah, we're down now on this name and it's coming into our 208 level. But again, we always talk about it. A confident trader is not really a scared one, and that's kind of what you want to be. So I'm just going to sit there and wait for my fill to come in. We have a plan of action, which is why I want to talk about plug as well. We have a plan of action, and we're just going to sit here and execute it. If it falls down, I've already done the math. We'll probably lose maybe 10 or 15%. Again, rough math of what our day is at if that falls through, but it's a trade that I like, and we're gonna sit there and take a 208 long. And at that point, our average price should be about 208, probably 50, and we'll take a dollar hit on Tesla. Already planned out. No stress left for me on this one.
The technical term when traders do that math, it's called napkin math, right? It's
called,
like when
yeah.
you're, well, usually,
Yeah.
we always talk about it when you're loosely trying to value a company, which, because I do that all the time, literally never. But you use websites for that. Like, why would, no one ever has to do napkin math anymore. You can just go to like.
I mean, I still have this, Gangster Calculator. Hey, Fabe, you never heard of this before? It's a calculator. Okay, he's heard of it before.
You know they have this, I actually
He
have
saw it on
mine
his
up.
app on iPhone.
You should, like,
There's a
I actually
calculator.
have this up at all times. My calculator, can come to my screen for a second. Can we come to the screen for a second? See, this is the thing, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I'm like the, look at me, I use all of the new things. I'm the old guy everyone makes fun of as a boomer, but hey, I'll throw this in there. I actually did a calculation on a stock and then adjusted to 135 was because it was a Canadian stock. US stock, I was finding the price in Canadian dollars. It doesn't really matter. I have a long in an EV name today. Boom. Oh, you're long Tesla right now, so it's not really that big of a deal.
Well, who knows how good it's gonna be.
Well, NEO got to $6, so it's pretty much, that's pretty much it. I went long 02s, I took some more at 03s. I just add, my price is now 02 half because I just got some more at 02s. So if it breaks $6, I'm out and we'll scalp trade it. But I am short Nikola, and I don't know if Nimit's still around here. Nimit was asking me in the chat for like levels on Nikola, and all I simply said was when the market was dying and the EVs were getting crushed, Nikola, like yesterday's high, would be a good place if it can find a bid down there in the pullback, because that would still be making higher lows. Well, it didn't find a bid at that price. Instead, at 69, it broke and has found resistance at 69. So I'm in the other direction. So I'm shorting it to this 69 level. I keep trying to get more on the upper half of that level, and then we'll sit in that short just in case it flushes. But the NEO trade, if it breaks 6, I'm just out. It's just that simple. Yeah. So at the end of the day, we're gonna find out what's good with Tesla. As long as they don't report after 4:30, then you'll have them on the recap show with Sean. I'd be surprised if they report that late, but. I mean, Elon will do anything at the end of the day. We know there's going to be movement. The implied volatility was 7%, I believe. Or 6,
Oh, yeah, we got to look that up.
6 high. It's probably changed a little bit, but I think it was like 6 high or 7%.
It is coming right into 8 right now, like immediately right now, guys. I don't want to miss this. I'm at 208.11. I've been there. This order went pending, guys.
Then you don't want to close your eyes or fall in love because you don't want to miss a thing.
Yeah, what is that from? This order's been pending since 9:32. Give me it.
The Armageddon, the song. What the hell is that song called?
Oh, no, yeah, oh, the Armageddon. Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Anyway,
Shit. As if it just went to 208.11. 208.12, sorry. I'm at 208.11. Are you kidding me? And now we get the bump back up. Okay, that's a little frustrating. Obviously, the more we complain about it, the more it will probably come down and fill us. But that's a little frustrating. I've moved my order up, but that sucks.
12s and 22s.
We were pennies away. Yeah.
I actually favor 12s
There we
and
go. We got it
22s
anyways
in front of
now, but
evens as
yeah.
opposed to 1s and 11s. That's just my 2 cents. It's like the people that shave those even levels, I like to shave it like a cent better.
Yeah.
And that comes from being a penny stock trader where that was a lot of the game. By the way, the market doing that right down to morning lows. So when you hit morning lows, if you bounce, I always think at the profit taker because I like to take profits. So morning range bottom, like 10 o'clock, this was the bottom on Micron, 87.30.
You like hood things.
Well,
Hey, remember that rough napkin math?
and I smoke with cigarettes. No, just
I said 208.50. We're long at 208.59, and we had to pay up a little bit for our fill. So napkin math paying off right now. Come on, Tesla. So right now we are amazingly out of the money. 15 cents on Tesla. So let's see if this one go. Now we're almost in the money. You see, averaging in can be your best friend. No, we got to go back for, look at that. Now Tesla's back in the money. Okay, let's go over to the guys at the desk and talk about crypto. Bye-bye, Tesla.
Quickly, Coinbase, 2.4%. There are a few things that are relatively weak today. Coinbase, one of those. Most of the crypto group among that, but 2.5%, pretty ugly after a decent gap to the upside. I was just noting there's not a heck of a lot. This is Bitcoin. Not a heck of a lot going on here. We did get above 40,000 once again, came right back down. It's been doing not much since.
Yeah, well, Sean had that short on coin, so he did real well on that. But overnight, we broke down below 39,000, and that took us to 7-week lows. So we'll have to wait and see how we continue to bounce off the news that the spot ETF was approved. It's been a sell, the news event, Brendo.
Definitely.
I was thinking about 121.50 right here. Look, I slapped a sell on Coinbase, huge up there. It doesn't matter. We're trading it every day anyways. I was just like, all right, let's take the short in Coinbase. And then I actually put this out. I'm trying to do a little bit different things on Twitter now for everybody. So like I actually pinned this here. And like, look when I pinned this. Like Coinbase was only in the money here, like $1 when I pinned this. I just thought it was pretty important. One, have bias as direction towards stock. Coinbase short, if you've been watching the show, I never say Coinbase long. Find VWAP. Found it. Hey, there you are. Wait to see the action around it. Like, it rejected, it rejected, it rejected. So then we just took it again. So that's fine. Be confident and take the trade. We took it once and twice. Reloaded it, right? And then I'm here every day. So, I mean, the thing is like, these are the kind of things that you want to do with Coinbase. And I sent that tweet out when the stock was right here, let alone where we are right now. So it's still continuing to work. My out right here is 121.50. Confidence is what you need. We're running it with that. So 121.50 is going to be my new out for Coinbase.
it is getting nasty on this move down. That said, the NASDAQ just held the lows. If you're looking at Bitcoin, it's at 39.7. If we do not get the 40 back, let's just make if we don't get 40 back, Coinbase, Sean just talked about that, has the 112 level, which I think is possibly coming into play. I'd be a little bit worried about Mara as well. Yikes, because Mara is close to like the $15 level. We might see that today. Mara just made another breakdown. That $15 level that it's been hanging on to, that's been a big support level for Mara, especially on the way up. So then you get all the way into the 200-period moving average. If 40,000 doesn't get reclaimed and you get back to that 38, I think this is a name that can be back in the $13 range. Just because sometimes when it goes V-shape, it goes all the way. Or, I don't know, like that's a reverse V or upside down V. But not a great day for the crypto names. It's looking pretty nasty out there. The NASDAQ is trying to bounce. My first thought was, hey, let's look for some bounce plays, but I'm not convinced that this isn't still a short. So NEO's a gimmicky long for me. I was thinking about where we can get a little bit of a pullback or bounce and then fade something. If I can find a VWAP retracement trade on something which is looking weak, I think that's going to be the next one. I'm not really, you're not getting that on any of the crypto names. Like if you're shorting a crypto name now, you've got to find a setup off of the lows. 16, like 15.9 to 16 maybe on Amara, but it's a ways before we get there. So you had to be in there early like Sean for that setup. But shorting the bottoms, I'm not really in favor of it. We're not running away from 40,000 to want to short a bottom down here. I'm sure there's other shorts available if this market continues.
All right, we'll wrap it up with Chinese ADRs back to the upside as the market even is sliding down 3 days in a row here. Decent gap for Alibaba. Anyways, if you missed it this morning, Beijing talking about more funding to come through to their financial system and financial markets specifically. They've had a pretty rough ride. Frank's been all over this. Shout out to him talking about how much of a disaster their stock market's been.
Yeah.
Since last year, yeah.
Yeah, look, they're going to pump money into their equities, onshore and offshore. That was yesterday's headline. Today, it was capital requirements by their financial institutions. They're looking at reducing those. By reducing those, they actually free up liquidity to be loaned out to other people. So in doing so, they hope to spur their economy that way, Brendo.
The rundown brought to you by Trade Ideas. If you haven't done so, take advantage of this. It's on right now. The Go Low, otherwise known as Go Long, only competition. Grand prize $2,400 on a Amazon gift card. Save 20% off your Trade Ideas subscription. Bottom right corner, Trader TV 20 will get you that, guys.
And then let us know what you would get on Amazon with your 2,400. Buys a lot of fritters, man.
It does. I don't know if you can buy fritters on Amazon, but we're gonna take it out right there. There it is.
Buy
We
everything on Amazon.
You probably could. There we go, man. Spin it. We thought we were in trouble with Tesla, but now we're long at 208.30 with a bigger piece of the pie than we ever had. So let's get another out here as it just stopped around 209. We'll put something out at 208.88 and see if we can get that fill right here, right now for Tesla. So that's really working out. All right, we wrote down again. We keep talking about the sticky note every day, but if you know anything about the show, then you know I already do it. Right here, $74 written down on Alibaba. We took it, we hit it, we got out right there at 75. That's 70 cents. That's the lowest it's gone today. So we have the bottom of the day there on Alibaba. We got out. We took it out at the 50 period. That's 50 cents. And then right there is 75. So yeah, like the trade, Alibaba, I still think it can work, but we'll wait to see what happens here moving forward with Alibaba and some of these Chinese names. I'm going to leave them alone in the afternoon. Me and Neil always talk about that. There isn't much movement in the afternoon on some of these Chinese ADRs, but it could be today.
Well, we'll see. Like Neo got to $6, so that's why we took the bounce play, which is bouncing right now. For BABA, when it gives you, when you have a level and it gives it to you, like if you can get it multiple times, try. Like I like the previous high. If you go dip buy hunting when the stock like this gaps up, to me, the only mistake was the first one, like not allowing it to make the bottom. I got it in the front end there, mistake. Then we got it on the back end, scalp to VWAP, scalp to VWAP, scalp to VWAP, hold for what was a triple top. So the triple top, and I said this in the midday show, it's like triple top on Alibaba, like once, twice, thrice, and then it trailed right back in. It couldn't even hold VWAP. So I'm waiting till it gets to that 74.5. I doubt the Chinese ADRs tend not to move enough, so I'm doubtful that we're going to get to that bottom. Neo did bounce off 6 just now. Look, Neo's getting crushed, man. I'll show you the daily chart in a second, but it's bounced off 6 here. I'm looking to get some more out 7s, 9s. If it breaks 10, great. But this is still consolidating well beneath this resistance, or sorry, that $7 flat bottom break. So Neo, it's not really having a good time of it. Hey, is this the bottom of Neo? I have absolutely no idea. I just know 6 is a nice round number. Once it started to buy, find buyers down there. I like taking that shot. But I feel like the EVs, we're gonna get a real indication tonight. But going into Tesla earning, they've been a short till they aren't situation. And I think when that happens, if you fight the trend, you've been finding yourself in some trouble there. So obviously, these guys are an EV name. A lot can change tonight. I mean, I'm not rooting against this, but again, I need to see, like if this needs to be like back above $7 or something, like break this trend to the downside. Like Lucid, I'm not picking on the Chinese EV names. Here's the thing. Like Lucid was up 3 days in a row. Now it's down 7.5%. Look at the chart. Like it's ridiculous. Fisker goes up, it broke the dollar level again. Boom, right back into the lows. Just continuing to die. And you pull up all of these different names and it's all the same thing. Now Nikola is a bit of a different story because it's actually gone up a few days in a row here, but these charts are all more or less the same thing. You're looking for the short. There's some scalp long opportunities like reversals, bounces off even dollars. But generally, if you short the pop on these EV names, it's been gold. All that could potentially change in the short term tonight or tomorrow morning after we've digested Tesla.
Well, we just digested a little bit of Tesla up here at 208.75 again. So we just took a bunch out, man. Our average price, I told you, was 59. So we're now out of a little bit more. And we're just going to let this one go now. Breaking through 208.70 will be that. We have still on 65% of our position. But I want to take a little bit out there at the high side just in case. Because look at this 50-period moving average. I wouldn't feel comfortable not getting something out. So we'll take a little piece out there and digest. Roblox. Some of you were like, yo, get out of Roblox. I said, yo, I'm getting more. So we did that. I already have my out, man, breaking back below here. So I actually have it a little more conservative than that. I have it getting out if we just break $41, down a couple pennies lower than that. So I'm not even, I mean, now that we've actually, here, I'm going to change that. Now that we've taken some out, let's go $40.89. Oops, $40.89. We'll get out of 100%. So there it is. We've already taken some profit on this name, so I'm pretty comfortable with this position. So if it comes back in, we'll get out. We've taken a little bit of profit out already a couple times there. That's Roblox. Still trying to make that money back that they owe me. Starbucks, nice move to the downside again here. We're still waiting on. I'm just trying to review some of the positions I have.
Here's a weird one.
Okay, just wait 1 second. A Coinbase, 2150. People were asking about that, and I actually tweeted it out as well. 50-period moving average. What's up with Roblox?
No. It was James Dell. Just a curious question here. He said, Sean, a master of the dark charts. We literally all use the light charts. Although, I don't know about you. I have dark charts for
I use all light charts.
I don't know, do we have that
we
shot?
We always use, yeah.
We don't show our setups very often.
We always use dark. Well, you can just pull them down.
Well, okay, I can do that. I was kind of, I don't know if we had the shot overhead where you could see the entire trading layout. If not, if we can't do that shot, that's fine. Just come to my chart screen for a second. I actually, you see me in the midday, I wear the, I wear those blue light glasses, easier on the eyes. I actually use dark charts specifically for my charts that I'm following. Like I'm watching Micron on a 3-minute up here. You know, like when you see me use the trading view for crypto, like I'll actually have this up because I'm not really showing you guys that often. But yeah, it's just, the idea is on the screen for you guys. It's a little bit easier. Oh, they're talking about Harry Potter's. Okay, that's.
They're saying I'm a warlock, whatever that means.
It's a Harry Potter thing. Oh, but
I'll tell that to my wife. If she doesn't approve, everyone's gonna be in trouble.
Oh my goodness, my daughter wants that. What's the Lego that's the whole street?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Like,
last Lego we got was, first of all, out of Coinbase, spin it. All right, we got a Coinbase. Yeah, isn't it all brown?
Yeah, but it's like
Yeah, you know, I was gonna say, National Lampoons, we bought that house. That was the last one that we bought, the National Lampoons house.
Hold on a second. You can get Clark Griswold's house on Leighton Lego?
Yes. Yeah, man, I've tweeted that out before lots of times. Hold on a second. It's sick. You can get the, and then you can get the lights for it too. You can get, and there's actually like the fake Christmas tree in there where the guy's pretending that someone's home and all that, and the dancing and everything. It's pretty fly. Micron still downside here as well. What else do we want to do here? Micron, I'm just making sure we have the right stop orders. SoFi still trying to, SoFi.
Oh, that'll work.
SoFi. Like the name, but we have the top of the day, top of the morning to you, SoFi. Boom to the downside right now as we still have this. But again, like as it's bleeding down, I wish I was. Can warlocks like tell the future? Because if we could, then we would have held this. So my warlock powers may be a little. Oh, I'm a wizard. Okay, I'll take market wizard. Yeah, sure. But no, nice little down. I'm nowhere near that. But thank you for the compliment. Down here to 760 right now. I feel like this is a good out, man. 762. I just think that it's getting, I don't know, I'd hate to just get rid of everything, but it's getting closer and closer to the end of the day here, but there's still lots of movement happening. All right, Tesla just made a move back upside here. The net is just like going here. So this has been quite the day. Thank you for watching. But we just Nailed that one, man. Warlock power on Tesla. Let's go. Right there. More shares and another $1 in the money for Tesla. So, yeah, we're still trying to hit it, and I think we're doing a pretty good job. So thank you so much to everybody for today. As I'm just getting my orders all set up here, we got to get something out. What about 209.50? Let's go to 209.50. If we can get that out, we'll try it there for Tesla. But there it is, man. Told you we were buying two 308.11s. So if you just bought 308.11s with me and you weren't like chasing this downside, congratulations, the Elusive Dollar Club. You are now a member of that as well on a call that we gave live to you right there on the show. So not only can we be Dollar Club members, but so can you. And guess what the cost of admission is? Zero!
34.50.
So there it is. Or 34.50. Take your choice.
Which is just for fun.
Yes.
Great trade there. We got a super chat here from Nick W, which is amazing because every time Nick W gives us a super chat, he's always asking about a long-term play. Could you give us thoughts on APP long? You have a swing trade in it. I hadn't even looked at the chart and I knew exactly what the setup was going to look like. But I'll pull up the chart anyways for you because AppLovin, you always ask for things and it's like, well, what am I going to say? Stock breaking out in an upward trend does not look like a good long. So there's your 200 period moving average. It just recently broke it. So I'm assuming you get this support in here at 36. You get the recent break just now in a bull market. It tests here. Nick W, let's just say you're probably long 40.5 is my guess. And it's breaking out those tops. So congratulations. I'm not sure you wanted to ask what I thought about that. You're already in it. Generally speaking, when I'm swinging or doing things like that, I would take some profit out and then let it ride once it breaks that high. Anyone taking a breakout trade is probably looking at your entry as a stop. That's just sort of my 2 cents there. But congratulations. It's a great looking chart. I don't think you mean today because this is what it's doing today. So I'm assuming you didn't buy this one literally at the low. The only long we just had on is NEO trying to bounce in. I don't think NEO can get to VWAP because it's 240. Chinese ADRs at this time of day. If NEO bounces off $6 at 9:30 or 9:40 or like anything before 10:05, 10:30, let's just say in the first hour, I'd be looking for a retracement back into VWAP. At 242, I'm happy that it gets most of it out in front of like the previous low, which is 212, and then it does whatever it does at that point. You just got to respect the time of day. It's a Chinese ADR in the afternoon. They don't move too much. I did like Alibaba, but I don't think we're going to see that 74.5 again. So Baba back above VWAP, and now absolutely, that's not really flying, but it's still looking pretty strong. I don't think we get the dip buy. I do still want some kind of a short to pop. One of the things that I am looking for is either a reload here in Micron at the lower high, which we may or may not get, or Intel, which I gave up. So I gave up Intel at VWAP, now looking for a VWAP entry to the short on Intel. So I'd like to see a little bit of a bounce here in the futures. That can get me into the short, and then you get the lower highs going as well. Intel was just one of those relatively weak names. At the open, got the resistance. If it takes the stairs down, there's still plenty of room for it to get back into the downside.
We'll take another piece of Roblox. That's just this one's only a 13-cent winner, but hey, you kind of like putting the toppings on the hot dog right now, if you wanted to. A big shout out here. If you are on Instagram, go over right now. We got a new hot reel that just went out about Netflix yesterday. So go find that reel right now on Instagram at TraderTV.Sean. Just trying to put out as much content as we possibly can right now. A hot new reel out on Trader TV at TraderTV.Sean right there on the gram. There it is, the gram. So go find out what we talked about there yesterday with all of this. It just went out now. So thank you to my lovely wife for that one on Instagram. Okay. All right. What do we want to do? Oh, yeah, by the way, this. We just took it out at 209.20, another piece right now of Tesla. I don't know. I mean, that's a good trade. We got to make sure that we get some out. I was going to wait for 209.50, but we still have a piece on board. So at this point, it's kind of like we're having the best day we've had all month. So I feel pretty okay with trying to hold on to some of this and then seeing where we go from here. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to see if we can let it ride and just see if what we've been talking about is the right thing to do. Starbucks, again, look at this. Came back into the bottom of the day, out on the 50-period break, and boom. Let's check back in on, I mean, the only stock that I feel bad about, really, I don't feel that bad, but Alibaba's right back to there. We could have gone longer on that. I know Neil just talked about it. And then one more here that, Plug Power, I mean, I also put out a note about that where we talked about that. I was talking with Patrick about this. Like, we talked about shorting Plug Power, and we did it over and over again, where we said 50 period, 50 period, 50 period, 50 period. There's the 50 period right there at $4, now down to $3.50. My best out, $3.65, or no, well, actually, $3.57 earlier on. That wasn't the stock. I'll figure out whatever it was later on, but there is a nice move happening. Maybe it was Netflix we should have a quick look at. What's up, Brendo?
Looks like March 7th, guys, is going to be the date for the R2 platform for Rivian, just coming out. They're going to reveal it at an event in Laguna Beach out in California. So there was a little tiny volume spike on that, but didn't really move much.
They'll take any up spike they can get in Rivian looking at that chart.
Imagine if Tesla misses, what that's going to mean for all these EVs.
Forget about it. Oh my goodness. Hey, the dollar
Right.
supports, the dollar bounce plays, those could be invoked. The SSR bounces that would be there if Tesla goes down 5% overnight, there's going to be a bunch of these high short float EV names like Lucid and Fisker that could have these SSR bounce plays tomorrow. Man, Lucid $2 would be interesting. But NIO got to 2s and 3s, and it's making the nice little bounce. What I love about the dollar trade is you're just out if it breaks 6 even, right? So you get some out, it goes to 5. You start getting out at better than at 1 to 1. Start getting out at the 5 level, then 7s and 9s, creatively enough every 2 cents. Look for the break higher, just like the R&R when you get these even dollar trades. So it gave it to you. It gave it to you twice, and the market said, "Hey, when something is flushing, you can try going long into the bottom or just generally wait for it to get to that price." Like if you wanted to go short NVIDIA today, whatever the price is that you're like, I want to short NVIDIA at that price, you were probably going to get it today. So it made sense to just wait for it. Same thing with 6 and this NIO level. And what I was getting at with Lucid is, like it's down another 8%. Like this is, like look at this stock. There will be a day, unless they go bankrupt. And even then, if they go bankrupt, it probably still happens. There will be a day that Lucid has a rip your face off rally. We know what it's capable of when it starts to squeeze. And I'm not saying it's going to be tomorrow, but if it's really doom and gloom disaster, some of these things are so nasty to the downside that the opportunity for a bounce is just, like it's there. There's no question about it. I'm not saying I'm going long Lucid tomorrow, but if it's an abject disaster and a 250 level sets up, grip it and rip it. At the end of the day, like that's, I love those bounce plays, especially an SSR bounce play if it comes into play. So what was there was something else I was going to get into. Oh yeah, DWAC. So there was something here. I mean, DWAC's down 22%. It's been trending down mostly all day, but there was a thing Brennan put in our chat, the UAW president saying Trump stands against everything the auto worker union stands for. I don't know if that's the reason for the acceleration through the bottom, or it was just the fact that DWAC broke the low of the day and didn't have any bids underneath. But if you're tracking this one, remember the primary's over, sell the news. Well, the election cycle has, I mean, the primaries are over. Now you're into Trump versus Biden. If that was the reason for the push in DWAC, then you're getting a little bit of sell the news event today. Like it could not get past yesterday's high and has been only flushing in there. So hopefully people took their profits on the way up. Doesn't mean it's still not in the money if you got it early, though.
No, I feel like, didn't Biden already talk about supporting all those unions and stuff like before? Like he was like out there on the pickets with them and everything.
That's
his thing. I'm just saying like, so no surprise there that they're going to most likely back Trump there, or not back Trump. Okay, all right, just getting some sorted out. All right, okay, so another thing just real quickly here, just tweet this out. Congratulations to Meta today, man. Today is your day. Meta today, thanks to Adair for this, just joins the $1 trillion club. So this is a very elusive club. NVIDIA, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Apple.
Microsoft $3 trillion today.
Yeah, exactly. That's another one. That's 3 trillion on this board as well. So based on that, scroll down. What did I say when I tweeted this? Congrats to Meta on the 1 trillion club. I trimmed some in the long-term portfolio. I did that today. I didn't even really realize it was at the 1 trillion marker, but sometimes those can be markers to head back down to the downside. It was just simply put, just trying to raise some cash in case I need to do some stuff. But that's what we're talking about. I just feel like it's all the way up, and there's been so many times, especially during the pandemic, where stocks like Square or, I mean, there's going to be extreme examples. Even Meta's another one of those examples, right? We showed that daily chart. Well, it was a monthly chart, but with Meta, I'm going to show it to you again here, if I can pull it down. And I don't think that we are about to fall down. Obviously, going through a pandemic is going to be a lot different than what we're dealing with right now in this world. But, you know, like we had this huge move up already to this, and then it fell all the way back down. We were lucky enough to start to buy in and around here, just doing simple work on charting, trying to buy some support down there, and then it fell through $100, and we really got a lot of shares down there. We've been selling on the way up. I mean, even Sharif, I thought, got all of his out like right around here, 230, 240. Obviously, you can't anticipate such a dramatic move like this. So I'm going to take a little bit out and be wrong. I mean, I also took some out on NVIDIA today as well. And just to talk about NVIDIA, I also, on this one, took some out at 494 or whatever it was, and we talked about that live on the show, right into here as well. When we had, or I guess it was a little bit lower than 5 bills, right into here because we saw the drip down and then all the way back up, and we started cashing some out. Obviously, $130 later, I'm going to take a little bit more out on the high side, and we got out during lunch, so we got out somewhere up here. On all of them, I got out all during lunch, so just turned out that it was a good spot today to do that. But I don't think there's anything wrong with cashing something out and paying yourself a little bit. However, if you did pay attention to the podcast, Brendan and I did talk about this over last times, that really, if you're in for the long haul, you know, you really got to have your reasons to get out. And sometimes you'll look back and be like, why did I get out there? And it's so hard, Neil, as you know, and we all know, to time the market. So
I try to do my best to, if I take money out of a stock for, this stock has gone too far, this whatever it might be, it's too much of my portfolio, whatever that is, I don't want that to necessarily go into cash. I, generally speaking, it's like, okay, it's out, it's going into the queues, it's going into this, because I want the money to still be at work. Like that's my overall idea. Like when I was like, I'm done with Disney, why am I owning Disney when I like Netflix better? That was the question I asked myself. I'm like, why am I waiting for 10% more on Disney? I sold it and I didn't look at a chart. I sold Disney one day. I put that when it was a fraction of my holdings in Netflix. So it didn't really move the needle that much, but it was enough. It's like I should put the money right to work, and I just put it into Netflix. It just so happened to have worked out. It was more that I wanted out of Disney. I want to thank Wendy for the super chat here. We appreciate you.
Always, yeah.
Wendy, can you talk about GNS just for giggles? We do lots of stuff for you know what and giggles. By the way, the Advil's working like a charm.
Yes, sir.
You know, like it's
nothing like expired Advil, my guy.
It's not expired Advil, but yeah, Genius Brands. There was news, and look, I'm not going to pretend that I had Genius Brand news memorized. I did what a trader should do when they don't know what's up with the stock. I just pulled up Benzinga. So Genius Group and Fat Brain AI agree to merge into growth platform. Combined businesses are preliminary estimated to have achieved $80 million of gross revenue in 2023. Terms of the transaction not disclosed. And as you can see, Genius Brands is having a pretty good day. All that said, I'm sure you can guess what the daily chart looks like. Whoops, I was already on the 15. So obviously it hasn't been good for Genius Brands here. You got a penny stock. And when a penny stock is moving, I tend to respect bag hold levels. So it's maybe the wrong term, but you know what I mean when I say that. The levels which you probably got a lot of buyers that'll be happy if it gets back to that price. So look at the 50-cent support and then look at the breakdown at 50. It's got one of those coming up at 50 cents. So I would think that this move runs into resistance, which you're already seeing at 50. The next stage needs to break out and hold bids above 50 to 55. That just goes back to like basic stuff when it comes to trend trading and how penny stocks tend to move. So you're running into resistance. The volume's good today, but it's certainly dying down. The market's still trying to get up. Where's Micron? It's at VWAP. Do I like Intel better? Oh, they're both at VWAP right now. I like them both.
All right. Just an update right here. First of all, you know, we tweet, go follow, we tweet out all of our positions. Look at this out, 121.50. I mean, a lot of the time, you know, you can save yourself. That's pretty good. You could save yourself just by getting out of stock, and when levels are breaking, like right there, this is a win. This is like a 60-cent win for me, basically, because we got out. Otherwise, we'd be holding it. So, you know, sometimes you got to, I try to think about that, and shout out to Aaron and everybody. They're talking about like the story of their life. And I'm just trying to change that story, meaning like, get out when there's profits there and not try to hold everything for the complete moon. Like I bought Roblox like at $100. It went to 140 almost immediately. And we didn't get it. Well, we got some out there. Now it's down to $40, right? So there's always going to be plays like that. Look at all my marijuana holdings. But look at this. Coinbase, there's the L right there. And on that note as well, we got really light on Starbucks. Out. And then I was just like, you know what? There's VWAP. So we did take it out there on VWAP. Obviously, we got out at 42, and now it's at 34. But it's not a huge piece of the pie. We'll wait for another push down. But Starbucks, again, another one that was pretty darn good right there. All right, that's enough. We'll just drop this down. And then we'll watch out what's going on. Roblox, those buys have been fine. They're still in the pocket there. SoFi, we still already have the absolute top of the day. Let's see if we can make the bottom as well. I mean, putting a bid at 750 might be okay. But the market is heading lower right now into Tesla earnings. So let's wait to see. And if we have that earnings board up, we can show that at any time as well, because it's not just Tesla today. We have Fibonacci Princess. I want to thank her for tweeting out about coming on tonight and whatnot, but it's going to be a good one. Look at this. IBM, ServiceNow, Frank Slootman. What's up, Frank? Las Vegas Sands, another big one. Are we going to Vegas or not? Ethan Allen Lamb. Oh, yeah. Look, guys, Chris Bretcher yesterday on the recap show talked about LRCX. We talked about that. He called it up. He had some trade ideas for you. Go find that. Nokia. Obviously, we all have Nokia phones, right? They're going to be huge.
Obvious.
Mobileye. They warned. They're at that same warning level that they went down to. They warned to 28.
Can it really be worse than?
You want me to answer that question?
No, it can always be worse. And then you get the three airlines. You got Southwest, you got American Airlines, and Alaska Airlines, which obviously Alaska Airlines, they're wrapped up the most. Well, it was a couple of airlines that are wrapped up the most with the Boeing issues. By the way, Boeing's at the high of the day. I just thought I'd throw it out there.
Boeing's at the high. We love Boeing.
Well, okay, it just turned at the high of the day. At what level? If you're paying attention this morning, 217, because 217 since the recent flush, 217 has been the big one. Now I'm talking about last week. So Boeing turning around off of those highs. I did get that reload of Micron. I did not get to fill in Intel.
Nokia, Fabian said, is it bowing up? Like, you know how things bow, I guess? Oh, going up. Is Boeing going? No, he said Boeing. He said
It's
Boeing.
Boeing
It's Boeing up. I don't know.
The problem with that is,
fine.
I know you're thinking Boeing up, but then that sounds a little too much like blowing up, which for a plane is not that's not the best look.
Yeah, Fabian. Yeah, I love Harold and Kumar.
Kumar.
Yeah, go grab me one of those White Castles, bro. What do you mean have we seen Harold or Kumar?
Don't you think White Castle's overrated, the burgers?
I'm not sure. I feel like I've had it once, but I've definitely not had it enough. I would say they're very overrated because aren't they like $1 each?
You got to be
like,
you got to be really hungry and possibly really.
You have to be high as shit. That's why the movie was all about that one.
We did it for
Wayne
from baseball. It was his bachelor party, and like
right,
he had never had it. We were in where do we go? We're in Syracuse. Why were we in Syracuse again? No, we're in Chicago.
Yeah, okay.
Was it Chicago? No, it was Zane's because it was Syracuse. It was Zane's bachelor party. We went to the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, you went to White Castle then.
Okay, I was
going to
say.
White Castle. That was
okay.
It wasn't Wayne's. It was Zane's.
If it was Zane's, I was there.
Because he's like, I've never had White Castle before. We had it, and then he's like,
that was probably the only time I had it.
This isn't that good. I'm like, because you didn't really drink enough last night. That's why.
Exactly. So White Castles are good for absorbing alcohol is basically what we're talking about, but good. All right.
So the
It's only
market,
3 o'clock. Dan, what are we going to do for an hour? All right.
the market's headed back to the low. So I mean, I don't
Things
know,
that make
try to
you go,
reload shorts. Is that no? I'm not going to say that one. What else we got? Can Sharif do a push-up? Of course he can. You guys.
If
know
he
what
was
up.
here.
If he was here. White Castle's delicacy. Stop the blasphemy. Hey,
Right,
to each your,
Neil.
Look, to each your own. I ate like 5 of them that day. So I'm like,
Probably more.
oh well.
Probably.
Yeah, actually.
I mean, how many
well,
would have we bought? Don't they have like a 20 pack?
Okay,
We probably would have.
I probably had more than 5. I'm be honest about that, but
Maybe not.
no, I
5
don't-
seems a lot.
No, they're really small. It was an entire meal, so
To me, the Baseball Hall of
did
Fame
have
needs
more
to
than
be
5.
including Pete Rose, or it's almost irrelevant.
Oh, don't get me started about the Baseball Hall.
I already did.
I'm a huge fan. I think if you're a ball fan, it's great. But as far as I'm concerned, a museum should just be a museum that tells the history and then tell the truth about it. Like whatever you want, man. You want to put a plaque on somebody and say that they gambled, then fine. That's the truth, right? Truth matters.
I mean, Barry
Like,
Bonds' head grew like 4x.
That's fine. He still played those games and hit those bombs.
Exactly.
Put it on the plaque then. So what? Live with it, man. You got other people in the Paul that did bad things, and you can throw it on the plaque. Like like history, just tell it. It is what it is. Don't hide from it. Everyone got paid off it. No one gave that money back. You didn't give that money back from the steroid era, did you? So?
I mean, the MLB knew exactly what was happening, I feel like.
Exactly.
Okay, what's up to Steve G? This is actually really funny. Get ready for that done thing again there, since I don't have it. Steve G goes, Boeing is having a sale. Doors are half off. That's not, I mean, it could be like maybe the seats are half off because the door, but,
There you go.
There you go. What's this? Oh, mic drop. Okay, that looks a little freaky.
It's terrible.
That's terrible. Yeah, don't hit that again. Okay, but that is a good mic drop one. We should have a mic. We should just have a mic falling from the sky or something like that. I think that'd be pretty cool as well. But there it is.
Don't drop the actual mic.
Shout out to Steve G. Okay, remember I said that I would have been sick to myself if we didn't get out of Tesla, but we're not though because we did get out. So, oh my God, it actually worked. We got out. And right now, I told you we had about 30% left. All of these outs are all out there. We're still going to hold it, though. I wish we're going to get more. We're going to get more. So if it comes back in, I am bidding 208. Maybe I shouldn't say it anymore. We're bidding lower than 208.11. How about that?
208.04.
Yeah, it's something like that. But if you said 07, you would be right. But so we'll wait. We'll see if it comes back in. And actually, with that being said, I'm going to put something else in here as well randomly. I just pushed bid and went down a little bit. We'll see if we get some more here. Because again, we've made money on Tesla. You'd never want to just say, oh, we've done well on it, therefore we can afford to lose on it. That's not the logic here by any stretch of the imagination. I just think it's maybe worth reloading against that bottom of 207.50. The market is getting pretty much clobbered right here. So
The walk was all about that.
yeah, you don't want to just keep on averaging into something just because it worked once or twice. I don't really.
My general rule on the same level, if it's a really, really good level, which means, okay, it got to that price, was it kind of like dead on and ran away from it? Like, the better the price level, the more it runs away from it, the less opportunity it gives you, it gets you in, but it's a good entry. That happens the first time, good. If it happens the second time, great. The third time it gets to that level, everybody is looking at that same trade. I mean, it's not that everybody, there's more
it is.
people
I
there.
think you're right.
And if it bounces, there's more people on the offer trying to scalp it, so you have more resistance on the way up. There's a lot of things. There's more people in the long. If it gets stopped out, there might be more slippage. There's more pressure on it because they all have to sit on the offer to get out if they're day trading. So when it gets to that the third time, I don't want to take it. And I say that, like, I'm not reloading NEO at 6 because it would be the third time it gets to that price. Tomorrow, different story. Like, if $6 comes again tomorrow, well, you know what, if we're at $6 right now after Tesla reports, we're probably not going to be at $6. We're not going to be at the same price now on an EV name tomorrow. I just can't see any way that's true. This is going, like, we got to be 5% from here one way or the other at least. But I'm not taking a reload on NEO in here. We were able to get we got 2/3 out. I took some at 7s after it made a crest at 10. So if it either breaks this consolidation up, or I'm looking for the exit on the way down to that 6 level. The only position that we added was adding back into some Micron. Not a heck of a lot. I wish we had gone long on BABA. And I'm asking, like, why didn't I like Alibaba back through VWAP? The answer, I don't really know why I didn't want this trade. So, that's a bit of an example. Why not BABA off of VWAP? Don't have a good answer for you. Probably should have done it. Micron just took us, so I did the reload. It just took out VWAP, so we'll just jump out of that trade. The better shorts for me have been above at 90s and 88. So it's a bit of a tight stop. When I was looking at the two of these, you know, it's a new price level for Intel. Micron on that bounce. I know which level sold off a little bit better. When it rejected VWAP here, it barely even moved to the downside, so I'll stick with the tight stop, wait for the highs. If it gets back above 88, that's been where the better shorts are. So we've moved on over into Intel, or back over to Intel, where I think I should have been anyways. Like, the problem with Intel is I should have just jumped back to this at VWAP here. Like, when I got into Micron at the same time, it's not that Micron didn't work in that moment, it did, just Intel was a better move. And Intel had been the better move from the top as well. So I got into Micron there, was decent, but not nearly as good as Intel. And that's one of the things you got to pay attention to. Yes, that's a good trade from 88 10s and 20s, but Intel at the same high was a bigger move to the downside. So if it works, it could work more effectively here. So we've jumped on over to that. If anyone's looking at some long ideas, let me know. I mean, the market's trying to bounce here, and I was thinking, like, maybe you could look at, like, Microsoft, because the problem with Microsoft is that 3 trillion thing's generally been a curse, hasn't it?
That's what I was thinking about with Meta, but I didn't sell it because of that, but I think you're right.
Well, I'm pretty sure when Apple got to 1 trillion, when Apple got to 2 trillion, when Apple got to 3 trillion, not necessarily intraday, but certainly that was it was like a short-term high, I want to say. Like, I feel like the next day it rejected the level. All three of those. So I don't wonder if Microsoft couldn't do the same thing. They also passed Apple for, well, they've already passed Apple for the largest market cap.
Yes. Well, no, Apple retook that, I think, didn't
well,
they?
I don't know, because Microsoft is 1% right now to Apple, and Apple went back red. So I think at some point when Apple was at the high today, Apple got it back, and I think it's now reversed again because Apple's now down 0.9%. It's close.
I think this is close enough to real time. I mean, it's right here, 3.01 trillion. I mean, it's so stupid. The amount of shares there are versus 3 trillion. I mean,
come on, Microsoft. Says that as he owns slightly more shares of Apple than he does Microsoft.
Yeah,
you know what's weird?
I bought more Apple, so.
I was actually,
I'm not selling Apple.
It's a silly dividend on drip. It's like you slowly accumulate more.
Yeah, exactly. I like the drip.
You don't have to buy it because you just always buy it.
Yep. Okay, so just quickly there, out of Micron. So that was a good one. Micron going to be, so
Netflix.
The top stocks today for me, I mean, Coinbase is the winner, but Tesla could be as well. So there's Coinbase wins for right now. A slight second place is going to be AMD, which, by the way, is probably a break long through that level right now. All right, so that's 2. I'm just going to talk about the bigger winners there. Micron looks like it's going to be positioned. These are all my closed positions. This is in the 4th position right now. Plug 3rd or so. Nice move down for Plug there. Starbucks, I mean, they're all roughly the same, man. Starbucks is right here as well, getting better every minute. And then Tesla is the wild card, as we're right back up to where we got out last time, right here at 25. So it's actually higher than where we got out last time. We got out last time right here at 25, as you could see right there. And now you're a little bit higher, looking at 209.37. Not a $1 club member, $1.40 right now. It's trying to just came back in. So it is officially $1 right now, $1.03. Let's see what happens with Tesla. I'm going to hold this now. You already know my plan, 207.50 or bust. So right now we're 70 cents in the money on the as pain to the downside, because we're long at 208.20. So if it falls into 207.50 and we get out, that's 70, 80 cents with slippage. We're in the money right now, $1. So, you know, we've well adjusted to the risk to reward on that one. I'm seeing Apple at a level rate. So again, shout out to Trade Ideas. Apple's at 195. That's all. Just at an even dollar. Had that move back up through, trying to break now. And as Neil said, Apple is a short today. We last went long at 186 flat. We got 186.02 off the open one day. But I would say look at shorting Apple like 195.
Easy now.
I know, 10
that zombie
something.
apocalypse.
If Apple gets to 10 something, Me selling NVDA at 625, whatever, might look pretty good. But okay, 195.40 is what I'm getting at there with Apple. Something else was just at the 200.
If Apple
period.
goes to 100, it will be 20% of my portfolio within 3 days. That's what I.
The thing is do you want to liquidate everything else to buy more Apple? I mean, that's the problem because everything else will be getting kicked down the curb as well.
Yeah, it's like those are those scenarios that it's probably a little bit weird to think about. I was actually long Apple only twice. But the trend is now to the downside. It was just yesterday's high. Like once it held yesterday's high, it was like a scalp trade. Tried it off that level again. If anything, it's almost like you're shorting off of the higher low support, which is 195 and a quarter. There was a couple of interesting questions, and I mean Manuel just said something. I remember, I think Sharif talking about MSOS yesterday. Or maybe it was you guys in the chat, but CGC with a little bit of a move to the upside here. I haven't seen anything come across my wire, but yeah, that's not that bad of a spike. And on volume as well. Sorry, I'm just putting it into, I don't see anything new here just yet on Benzinga, but clearly a volume spike and a break of the high there on CGC. Just curious if anything's happening in some of the other names. Is this only CGC that's running? Small move on Tilray. So I'd say like there's something happening here in some of the marijuana names. MSOS, spike kind of already coming back down. We'll see. Like I don't like trading. Hey, let's just jump in when we have no idea what's going on because clearly something has just happened in some of the cannabis names. Looking at the 15-minute, if that decides to load up, and what I do when that happens is just go straight on and look at my trade ideas here. Because you remember a lot of these, now not necessarily CGC, but Tilray has a decent short flow. CGC is about 6%. Look at how they're always down like this. When they start to go, like relief rallies percentage-wise can be very good on stocks that have done very bad. That's how the math always works. So you want to pay attention to them as a trader. Maybe it's going to break the $5 here, but I'd much rather know what's going on. I'm not chasing a top at 310 unless I think it's a pretty decent catalyst, which I'm not sure we even have one right now.
A lot of size on Tilray, and it just went right up to $2. Like it's what Neil was mentioning there. Without any news, it's just tough. But this for Tilray didn't even move, man. So I don't.
CGC is the one that has the better move.
Oh, okay. So Tilray moved like 3 cents. So CGC, I just wanted to $5. Oh yeah, that's right. This reverse split. So yeah, this is yeah, I guess so. I still think that's so. We reverse split up there. Remember, I was mad that I didn't get the shares. We could get some out. We own CGC. It's a shit show.
Oh, so so it took more. How many days did it take?
The story was on HUD 8, but
okay, I thought it was on.
I was never going to get out of this. I was just thinking about where because it actually by the time it split in the next couple days was down, and then if you come over here to the screen here, it went up after that. So I was just going to say, like, if you now have your split adjusted shares, like 550 was the top, you're not getting too far away from that if you did think that. It was HUD 8 was on the move today, right? Because didn't they come out and kind of like refute some
short seller report, yeah.
Yeah, some of what was happening there. So,
Which
but I guess it was up early. It's not up too much now. HUD 8 pretty much flat and looking to break those bottoms. I mean, when you have Bitcoin doing this, 40,000, not that HUD 8 is like following Bitcoin because HUD 8 is down about 65%. Like it was $19, now it's $6. So Bitcoin's only down about. Bitcoin's high was what 49 down into 40 now, so about 20% off haircut there for Bitcoin. So HUD 8 much more dramatic than that. So we can watch out. Let's just check out our Coinbase trade again to see what is popping. So that's coming back in. Oh, that's what it was. I was like, what was at the 200 period that we were just looking at? It was actually Coinbase. I don't think I'll short it again, though. Coinbase for me is always like a little bit of a VWAP trade, just because it can move so fast. Like, but again, the 200 was really good there, so you could have a look if you did like Coinbase. I think we could probably stamp that one.
Bitcoin kind of bounced and is holding really tight to 40,000 right now.
Tesla to tank. What up, JJ? Yeah, I mean,
in 1 hour. And change, maybe?
Tesla could just tank heading into this report, honestly. I feel like there is a lot more negativity about Tesla than is necessary, but I don't, all right. Well, I don't know if it's necessary or not. We're going to find out. I mean, that's the whole point.
There's legitimate concerns about EV demand, and then, of course, like some of the issues that come
Like
with
that new car, I feel like solves some of that demand.
Oh my goodness, I think it's fantastic. Like I think it's great for them. Like I asked myself, like, look, I can take a train into work every single day. I drive to the station. It's like a 5-minute drive. It's probably not. It's like 3-minute drive. But I take the car out. Like I realistically probably should have like a smart car or something really small for that kind of a commute. But like if that
You do have a super small car.
Yeah, it is. But I didn't need to get whatever. I didn't need to get the Audi for that. But it's just we were thinking about a Tesla, but we probably would have thought more about it if there had been like a more compact option, because it would have been a little bit more appealing. Because I know what I'm using it for. It was never going to be the thing that we're tooting the family around in or taking on longer trips. But speaking of things that are under pressure, we just asked about Save. Oh, by the way, Neil Wood in the chat said learn to walk. When we moved, I actually did walk. And then after the first winter, I was like, we're getting a second vehicle. I'm like that. Like, I got no issues, man. I walked everywhere in high school. I ain't no problem with that kind of stuff, man. I was trudging through the snow and all that nonsense. I did walk. And
I went uphill both ways, to and from school.
That's how old I am, son. But no, one winter, and I was like, no, can't do it. Because I leave so early that nothing was plowed, sidewalks, nothing. Sometimes salt wouldn't be down. It was ridiculous to try to walk through that. So that's the reason. Save, it looked like this was trying to fill in the gap to the upside. This is starting to break down again. So I know Spirit caught a bit of a bid. This is looking, I thought this was holding, when I last checked it, this was holding like the 740, 750, or I didn't realize it's now breaking $7 again. Watch out for 650. 650 was kind of the really good support level going back a couple of days here and then into last week. So Friday and then again on Monday. So watch out for the 650 on Spirit Airlines. Not really sure if there's any news here. It's been a nice rally from the bottom. They get doubled up plus from the bottom, so there's probably some profit taking. You don't know, like they could still go under, right? Like it's not resolved. Obviously, they're gonna try to do everything that they can for that not to be the case, and they've appealed the decision by the judge to block that deal. But yeah, under some pressure, Spirit Airlines. It's SSR. I don't short things at lows that are SSR at the end of the day, because usually when it's 10% to the downside, I think profit taking's the other direction. Got into the Intel. It's starting to work back into this 4880. Love to see it break. Probably should have just been in this over Micron, but if I had just like reloaded Micron, it would have been exactly the same thing. So we jump out of one, jump into the other. Right now it ends up flat, and if we continue downside, it'll be a nice winner. Neo, I'm not reloading 6. We'll just hold for it here. It either breaks higher or I'll trail it out on the way to the $6 level. Just about, it was an even dollar bounce. I'm not really seeing any other trade on it, at least for now.
All right. As you were talking there, we sort of, I don't know. I mean, how many times is Tesla like once, twice, thrice? It's now broken through 208. So we're long right here. I mean, I was debating getting something out. Maybe we will. Let's get something out. Let's get out of like 15% or maybe 20%. I just put it there. Right here at right near 208, just to get something out because it's broken. And I thought there was a chance it could like whoosh underneath and then, get right back up again. It doesn't look like it wants to do that. So instead of getting stopped out all the way at the bottom, I thought I put some, I'm at 95. Oh God. Okay, well, hopefully we get something out and it hits us at 95 and we'll be able to get out of that. But for right now, yeah, it looks like it is a little Deadsville on this one. Oh, sorry, 207.98 we're at there. Or was that 208.95 on the high side in case, here we go. Maybe we get it, maybe we get it, maybe we get it, maybe we get it. Anyways, I'm just, well, 97 it went to there. That's fun. Okay, well, that sucks. We almost got a piece out, but we'll see if we can get out now. So Tesla broke that 208 on earnings. I said this yesterday, actually, on the show, and that's when we traded Netflix. And I was saying I don't like to really trade stock heading into earnings day of or day after, or day before or day of, maybe the day after. And Tesla's, we've done well on it. It's just here it comes falling back down. And you could see I'm sort of holding true. I can't believe I was trying to get out at 98 and now it went to 97. But again, we stayed true to it by not trading Netflix at least today.
Yeah, which is crazy because
Yeah, and there's a lot of movement on it.
if you look at the chart of Netflix, had it not reported, it's probably the exact same breakout that setup that was taken. It's been taken on this show at 9:30, like umpteen times. Sorry, I was just looking at PayPal. What I was getting at, I'll get to
gonna break.
PayPal in a second. But like this setup, gap higher, post-market resistance, hold above, break out the top right at the open. Like hold the low, break out the top on a gapper. I mean, that's a pretty normal setup. I have a memory of these not being that fantastic on earnings days. You're now rolling over on Netflix. You're rolling over on NVIDIA. Like, this is why the market's headed down. Like, pretty much everything's coming to the downside here. Like, whatever you're long, it's probably pulling back. Look at NVIDIA just break 616 down to 612. So the market's starting to flush. I got it a micron at this point. Could have just held on to that.
Where's my
but it's
Starbucks?
PayPal that I haven't
Starbucks long.
Remember, PayPal has their, I don't know what the name of their event is. What's the name of the event that's coming? Anyways, it doesn't really matter.
AI Bonanza?
Well, the CEO was like, yeah, AI, we're gonna blow everyone away and blah 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 blah. Well, they're selling into it here on PayPal. It's right back underneath 64. So that breakout that was happening on PayPal is trying to give up the ghost a little bit. And I'm not saying it's gonna be a flat bottom break. It's already 320. It's got a triple, like right here at 63 even. You've already got a couple of times on the bottom here. You already saw it bounce once off 63. It broke away from 63. Suffice to say, it's a bit of a gap to fill to the downside if we break it on PayPal. Maybe it happens in time. We get it a shot to trade this. We got 20 minutes or 30 minutes till the imbalances come out, 10 minutes to the early look. It could always take that low. But how many times have I said this? Hey, we're looking for this trade, this break, or whatever it might be, and don't forget about it tomorrow. Like if you're at the same level and it doesn't break today, it could break tomorrow in the morning. You never really know, so you just got to be prepared for it. So PayPal 63 is going to be on my mind, at least for the next 20 minutes, and then we'll see what happens tomorrow morning if it doesn't make that break. Sometimes it gaps through the level and you can't trade it. But if you're not prepared for it, then you're not going to get a chance at it. I don't mind setting something up and then it doesn't happen for me tomorrow morning. At least you can have the idea prepared to go, and then you're watching that stock. Because I'll tell you, when you don't, you're just going to be angry with yourself. Example here, like Lucid. I wish I had something prepped for Lucid at the $3 level, but I wasn't even looking at Lucid today, and it was clean through 3 even. Everything you'd want in a break of an even dollar. So if you're not ready, you miss things like that.
Yeah, for sure. We're just, as Neil was talking there, I'm just sort of doing some house cleaning right there. We got top to bottom on Starbucks, so that's a little slapping there. We got overfilled, and that turned out to be a winner, so I just took it out anyways. I don't want to talk about a winner that really wasn't. Well, it was. This was a huge trade. As I said, Starbucks, now that it's realized, is quite the trade. Okay, so the housekeeping that I was talking about was this. Tesla. So I just got a bunch more out there at 75. I got some 78, some 75s, as you could see. So we're long at 208.20. So we're taking like 40, 50 cent hits here instead of it breaking this 207.50. Feel like it's going to break it in just a matter of seconds. We just bounced off of it. So I'll save myself 20 pennies and just get out. We only have half left right now of this trade. So it'll be half as bad as the plan, which was pretty good. So we're pretty happy with it. And so far, so good here with Tesla today. But there it is, man. Everybody that was like, Tesla's going to go down, you're 100% right. We took the shots. We got some out. But at the end of the day, it looks like it's going to break lower. So like we said, man, you can take shots all you want. Some of them will go in. Some of them won't. Shout out to
you miss 100% of the shots
Kobe,
you don't take.
Michael Jordan, all of them warlocks. What's up, Brendo?
The segment of the show brought to you by Simpler Trading. Take advantage of this exclusive offer for Trader TV viewers only. Today you can get Danielle's most popular options trading courses and tools for just $47, guys.
There you go, just for 47. I was just sort of saying this to Sean. Everyone, the whole like you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, everyone always references like Kobe and Michael with that. I actually think it's better when you're using that analogy to reference Robert Ory and Mo Pete if you're a Raptor fan, or Derek Fisher.
Great Robert Ory.
Because If you're Michael Jordan and you drop 30 a game, yeah, okay, fine, I'm a boomer. I could say a role player that plays now. It doesn't really matter. No, but if you're the star player of the team, it's easy to say you should take the game-winning shot.
Robert Horry has like 5 rings.
I know, but he didn't. Come on, he was like the 5th wheel on all of those.
Of course he was.
But at the end of the day, like if you want to have that confidence, it's about taking the shot that's given to you because you prepared for it. If a play calls from the kick and dish, then when Derek Fisher steps up, I mean, he's not the guy dropping 30 a game, but when it's his time to have his number called, you got to be ready. And I think that's almost more important. Now, here's the thing. In the chat, someone was asking when I was like, yeah, if you don't prepare for something and you miss the trade, it's annoying. And it was a really good point made. The thing that's worse than that is when it's one thing if, damn it, I didn't look at that stock, I didn't see the chart, I missed that trade. It sucks, but I can live with that. What you shouldn't be able to live with is if you looked at the stock, you had a setup, you did like it, and you didn't take it. That's a much bigger problem for a trader. I mean, it's a really good point, so I think it was a good point to make. I just want to make sure everyone heard that. If you aren't following along in the chat, we get a lot of good wisdom out there, and I thought that's more important. You can forget to look at a chart and miss out on something you think is obvious, but if you liked it, if I liked to fade Intel, let's just say I'm looking at the chart, so that's what I'm going to say. If I liked this setup and didn't get it, that is much worse than, I didn't look at Intel today. You're not going to look at every single stock, but you should always take your best setups, no matter what. I swore I would never a stock like EVAX. What's crazy about EVAX is this is
same. I don't really like that stock.
What happened in that stock today, and this is for just an alert if you weren't watching the midday show when Sharif was in that long. This wick is very real, and this top was the halt band. So if you have the ability, it's a huge advantage if you're trading something like an EVAX. If you have a platform that gives you where the halt bands are, or if you're looking at a level 2 to see that it went into a potential halt, failed that halt, and then immediately dropped 25% to the downside. Like that's if you didn't know that it was going into a halt that it failed, you were behind the 8 ball there. And it's very important because when a stock is doing that and about to halt up and low liquidity, you don't want to get trapped in what ended up being a false halt. It goes to the band, it's got 15 seconds to either go lower or to halt. In that time, it decided to go lower, and it didn't just go lower. That was literally the turning point from $12.78 to $8.50. When we talk about being careful trading those, take profits on the way up, make sure you have an exit, know when a stock is going into a halt. This is what we're talking about here. I don't want to see anybody get rinsed like that. There's no joy in that. Like the people, these Sykes, some people like to see people get rinsed and stuff like that, but I don't. Excuse me there.
I feel like we should have reshorted, or not reshorted, we hadn't been short yet. Where's Tesla? All right, there we go.
Now
We
you
got
can say Tesla too.
Yeah, we got some 18s right here. Let's wait. Okay, so now we have 18. I'd like to get some more shares on this name. So my problem now, we don't have too much of a problem here today, but okay, now it's starting to go. I said this about AMD. Like when I'm looking at a level and it breaks and goes the other way, especially when it's like a stock that we're looking at with catalysts, you could easily Intel could have a great quarter, or so could AMD, or so could Netflix, and all of a sudden the stock tanks. It's like, if that level that you're looking at for support isn't support, then it can turn out to be resistance pretty quickly there, as everyone has groupthink about very similar levels. So I'm just wondering, like that 207.50 level that we had on Tesla, which is right here, it's really 207.80, but I was giving it to 50.76. That we were having a hard time getting out of this. So I'm going to reshort it against 208. We don't want to get too back and forth with this. I don't want to be throwing away money because we do that. Like when I get mad, I'm like, oh my God, this didn't work. I got to go short now. I got to go long now. But we have a plan here. I'm going to take some back near 50, and then we'll just hold it to 208. And then if it flushes into the close, we'll make back a little bit of what we lost there. We don't need to, we're not out that much. If it continues to make that move. Intel right now,
double bottom, now a triple bottom.
Yeah, so that's hitting on the screener as well down here at 48.80.
Yeah, if Intel doesn't, the market's breaking lows here. The ES breaking the lows, ES breaking 14.9. The NASDAQ breaking the lows. The NASDAQ breaking, it's like, I don't know, the low was like, the morning low was random. It was like 17.63 something. So the low is being taken out. So when I see that happening across the board and the short I'm in is holding a higher low, triple bottom, I probably want to get out of it. You're going to get the early looks as well. So it cannot break the low. It's like just enough. Like I already saw it bounce. I'm just going to get out. I'll reload VWAP if it bounces. But when you're breaking the bottoms, I don't want something resisting the lows. I'm going to take profit. We have to be flat at the end of the day anyways. I would have liked to see that just break down and start flushing, but that's not what was happening. NEO is back into the 5 level. Just going to pop on the offer here on NIO, I think. Maybe I'll go to the midpoint. It's going to put a midpoint. I want to get out before it gets down back into 6. Not reloading, none of that nonsense. Not going to take it. No chance. What else is happening? We showed you guys the markets there. Oh, yeah, CGC. I saw it was Darwin in the chat was saying that a few companies were strengthening their lobbying.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
And that was the reason why it went up. But I guess that wasn't a big enough catalyst. It's almost back into VWAP. A lot of times I'd be looking for this bounce play, but it's already 330. So like a VWAP bounce here at this time, it's probably a little bit too late for that. We just hit 330. So we'll get the early look on the imbalances any second, and I'll let you know if anything individually is popping up here. Well, Pfizer's a 2 million sell.
I just want to say shout out to JJ because he was just like, dude, step away. And you're right. Like, that's what you need to do, really. You don't need to be sitting here and trading, over and over and over again pretty much all day long until something winds up happening. So we are doing that. I don't know if I can't explain it too much better. Like, we're stepping away from pretty much all of the trades right now. The last one we have is Roblox. That's 41. It just came in. We take their last shot. We're talking about 41.90, 40.90 as are out there. Roblox a good stock, but again, we don't want to lose it all. That's for sure. But again, step away from Tesla. I mean, Tesla just went 35 cents in the money as it broke through again. So I don't want it. And here it comes right back up. I just want to hold this. We're not throwing like money away here by any stretch of the imagination. I'm very, very comfortable with all of this trading. So we'll wait. But Tesla just had that move back down and it broke through 207. This is what I was there we go. This is what I was hoping was gonna happen once we broke 208, but didn't. So a little bit of a different characteristic right now with Tesla breaking to the high side now and not holding that bottom. But we just got to reload there. So we'll put a bid now. We're short at 30s. We'll put a bid at O's here. See if we can get this to come back down a little bit now for us as we just got some more shares. So here we go, making a little bit back now on Tesla. Yeah, here we go, Tesla.
So 380 million to the sell side.
Okay, that's what it was?
Yeah, it was the imbalance. So pretty small there. I mean, the early look, they were all sells, like Pfizer, 2 million, CVS, 1.7, Enbridge, 1.2, TD, 750,000. Nothing, none of the big names. Their NEO is a small sell imbalance, I guess. It doesn't. It's at 04s. I just got them out at 05s on NEO. I don't want that to go past break even. It was one time. It was a 2-time bounce. The third time going to be no good. But none of the big names are here for the early looks. I just realized, and thank goodness, I was actually. It's weird. I was still bidding. You should always clean up your orders, by the way. I was still bidding ARM 75 from the morning. Because ARM did this. Remember, if you're watching the morning show, like ARM did that move, and then it reclaimed 75, and like right about like. It was right about here. I was like, oh yeah, we wanted like 75.22 or something like that. And I still had that bid in there. And as I was cleaning up my orders, I'm like, wait a minute. I have an order from like 10 o'clock. You don't want those out there. Suffice to say, you should check your orders. I'm canceling my scripts. Don't want anything to trigger out of absolutely nowhere. I think there can be some late setups, but generally I like that fade off the bottom or fade off of like VWAP or something. Like, to me, like Intel back at VWAP is seemingly like the next, because I know the scalp trade that I'm looking for here. It's short, 49 5s to 10s, 05s to 10s, and then try to work that 25 to 30 cent scalp trade. So when the market bounces, that's the kind of thing I would look for next, instead of try to make something out of nothing. But to Sean's point there, like you got to be reasonable with your risk reward. Like nobody's. At the end of the day, you don't want to be risking your entire day, which Sean's not doing. And I'm not going to name any names, but there was a trader one time, and I've told this story before. He was trying to get to a round number. You might remember who this was. He was trying to get to a round number. I know, it was like he was trying to get to $1,000 on the day, and he was up like $970 something. So like 1,000 shares in 3 cents would have done it for him. Takes 1,000 shares to try to make the 3 cents, and he loses a couple. So now he's, and that bled into an LFT hit. Now, thankfully, at Day Trade the World, there's your daily stop loss, and then you have a loss from top that you're allowed, and those are two separate numbers. But in this particular case, 1,000 was a good enough day for him that he wasn't able to lose the entire day. Because, like, imagine his LFT allowed was only $600. So once he was down 600, I think he probably shut himself down at $400 to chase $25. So again, you try to put relative like risk to reward. I don't think at the end of the day when you're scalp trading you want to give up more than 10% of what a good day is for you, or 20 or whatever it might be. Because are you likely to see an A+ setup scalping in the last 30 minutes? No, you might see an A+ setup that can go all day for you in the morning. Those happen out there. Boeing is nosediving. Boeing, really? Boeing was just at the high of the day.
It's at that 217. I think it just pulled off of that.
Oh, it's still up 1.6%.
It's Boeing, Boeing, Boeing gone.
Okay. No, fine. That's not bad, Fabian. Fabian's all about that Boeing. I don't know. It's Boeing. Oh boy.
Yep.
And it's not. It's just Wednesday.
Thank God
it's
it's
Wednesday.
Friday.
We got all
Oh,
week,
wait a
baby.
second, it's not Friday.
We got all week. You think it's corny now? Wait till you see me Friday afternoon. You know what we got to bring back? Beer and pizza Fridays. One time.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, Fabian?
I mean, people used to send pizza here and beer here, so
We can get our own pizza.
Yeah, of course we can do that. Of course, we do have the podcast Friday afternoon, so that should be fun. All right, just real quick, man.
Hungry now.
We're not. It's me and Neil are going to say the same stuff here as we wrap up the day. Like Tesla, we're short now at 207.50. Like we're just taking small pieces here. Looks like it's probably going to break back above 208. So we had the long there. We got stopped out at 207.50. So it wasn't really that big of a deal. It's just right now 208.25 or so. It looks like it's going to try to blast through 208. This is what I thought would happen at 208, but it looks like it's happening at 207. It is very risky to take positions into earnings, but you're now only 20 minutes away from the release of it. So definitely not worth holding. And Neil and I are flat at the end of every single day, right? So that's
All Day Trade the World traders, actually.
yeah, exactly. Anybody here in the program is at Day Trade the World campus program or not, flat at the end of the day. So this is not a call on Tesla earnings. Like, don't be like, oh my God, these guys are short or I'm short, and then Tesla opens up tomorrow at like 250. Don't think that's going to happen, but could happen. So that we're out. I'm out at 208.25 if this breaks higher, which it looks like it's going to do right now. So that's going to be my out on the upside of this, but it's not a play for earnings. This is actually a stupidity play because heading into earnings, we talk about this all the time. I said it yesterday on the show. Hard to be in a name, day of earnings, and then day before earnings. And here I am trading this day before, but it was really good in the morning. I could have taken that profit right there off that long, and we didn't do it. And then we had good profit there. It's just here at 208. It's at 208 we went back and forth. So we have to pay the piper there because we don't have good decisions at those levels. SoFi.
I realize I'm going to put a poll up because.
Okay, yeah, let's put a poll up. Does it beat or not?
Because the poll can still. It's one stream. The poll will still be there when you come on.
Oh yeah. Good. Yeah, do that. That's a good idea. All right. So again, we won't do hand to God. Well, I just said it, but my stop on this was 802, a break of $8. I have it right here now. I'm canceling it as we speak. So because you can't put two stop orders in, or else our system messes up. I learned that the hard way. So right there, we're short at 789. Stop 802. So that's 13 cents. We're now in the money on this, 30 cents. So it's pretty good. It's near the bottom of the day. We're going to get out if it breaks this level right here. So we'll put this in together. 7.66. Let's do this. We always talk about giving it a little bit of room. So there it is right there. The SoFi short is now going to get covered if we break above there. That's really 63. Give it a little bit. I mean, 66, I guess, is all the way up here. It's just, it seems more dramatic than it is. It's just, it's not really moving. And at the same token, we'll put a bid down here at 754, the bottom of the day, see if we can get that as well. So we'll see if we can get basically the top and then the bottom on this. That's not necessarily the idea. It's not about getting tops or bottoms. It's just we did hold the last 10% and it's working out. So we'll try to see if that will come through. Tesla's the only position I have and probably the only position I will have moving forward. So it's just at SoFi and Tesla. SoFi is getting ready to get out, and Tesla is also getting ready to get out on a break above 208.25, which looks like it wants to do that heading into this earnings call. It's 340 right now, so a couple more minutes. You said it was 350 to sell or so?
380 to sell.
80 to sell. Doesn't seem to be doing much.
So I said this morning, I'm not going to change my answer based on any price action today. So I'm going to vote for higher. I'm basically just said Tesla closed yesterday at 209.14. So that's the only reference I have. I don't know where it's going to close in 21 minutes. So higher or lower from where it closed is one way to put it. I just said let's just use yesterday's close. So I said higher because I feel like it's been under a lot of pressure. I'm not making any bets on it. I'm not playing options. I'm not going to be in position. We're just having some fun here. So go Investla. Let's see what happens to Stressla. I said I was looking for one trade. All right, well, maybe lightning can strike in the same place twice. Typically speaking, most of you know that. Actually, you know what? That's actually not even the best saying in the world. But anyways, it doesn't really matter because lightning strikes in the same place all the time. We all know this. CN Tower gets hit all the time because it's literally a lightning rod. But so that's a really, really bad phrase. I don't even know why it gets used when it's so inaccurate. But anyways, short the exact same price we had before. It was a good out. And if you're like the reason for this out, like why did I think cover here? It's pretty simple. I try to keep things simple when it comes to decision-making points. Market was breaking the lows and continuing lower. Everything was falling. Intel was holding a higher low, which had already held support. So it was holding a higher low from the morning. It couldn't break lower when the market was breaking lower. Get out of the trade. And then if you still like it, then just jump back in at the same price. I got 7s. I should have waited for 9s. Whatever, it doesn't really matter, but I should have waited for 9s. So we're in that short. Neo did bounce a little bit here. So let's back up to 8s. Yeah, we're not going to get much more than this. Chinese ADR late in the day. This ain't getting a VWAP. If it gets back to 10s, we got to be pretty happy for sure. Honest Abe, first day I can remember this year, no Affirm trade. No, Sean traded Affirm. Oh, wait a minute. No, Sean, neither one of us traded Affirm today. That's true. Today is the first day of the year. I mean, it's only been in January. Okay, it's only been 1 month, so it's probably overstating it a bit. But hey, it's January 24th. There hasn't been a short trade in Affirm by either one of us. One of us has gone short this stock every single day. That's a bit of a fail. Because look at how good the short was. It was a good short. It was a good short. And if you missed the first short, I remember that was a good short. The second one through. Sometimes when it goes to the upside, it doesn't provide you with a short. I do remember taking a shot at this high. I'm pretty sure I took a shot at that high. And then easy like scalp trade and didn't get much more out of it. But yeah, we didn't really trade Affirm. Should rectify that. It's still very much in the midst of a downward trend. It's a little different because you're at a support level or you're getting very close to a support level again. So you almost need to break that level down or wait for pops to short. So either you get a short pop or nothing doing. Looks like Lightning does not want to strike twice in the same place, at least not to my satisfaction. If I'm going to get in here this late in the day, I'm going to generally have a tight stop. I don't want it floating against me. Don't want to be giving a bunch back. So try the in. It got up to 10s, pulled back slightly. I took 7s after I saw it pull back slightly, and then it broke out the local high. If it works from here, fine. Maybe I can find my way back into it. We only got 15 minutes left. I did just get the offer on NIO. I just popped in here at 9s. I was able to get that fill. So, we're not going to reload this one. I'll probably have to punch out. I can move my stop into 605. But I just heard that we should be headed to the desk.
Ooh.
Brought to you by IG.com. Trade Forex pairs like Euro USD with spreads as low as 0.8 pips and zero commissions at IG. Terms and conditions apply.
Okay.
I want to see 250 on Tesla after earnings. Don't we all?
That'd be nice.
I
That'd
don't
be
see
real
anyone up
nice.
in here like that's actually, everyone's here is long. I haven't heard a single person say that they have like puts or anything like that. We know some people short Tesla in this world.
Oh yeah, I think it's good.
It's like there's plenty of people short. Just I don't think there's anyone in our community that's actually short this thing.
I mean, Tesla's been such a great short.
I mean, it has been.
That 50-period moving
But
average.
here's my thing. Why would you, if you like Tesla short, then why not just short Rivian or Lucid or any of the other names? What's the argument
Maybe
that
some of the problems are Tesla specific. I mean, I don't know. We're gonna find out tonight.
Yeah, we'll find out. It's like, but
Looks like we're
really,
gonna get
the other ones aren't better shorts in a general sense. Like overall, like look at all of their daily charts. Like if you had the option, why are you ever choosing that? Speaking of which,
I guess they're gonna beat, man.
did we ever find out what was up with BlackBerry?
There we go. BlackBerry was down 20%. We just got stopped out of Tesla, so we tried to hold that all the way back above 208. Didn't happen. There it is. It breaks above the 50-period moving average, and we got out of that. So it sucks that my last trade today is not going to be a good one on Tesla, but
I meant swing or long-term short. We day trade the stock in both directions all the time. That's what I meant.
yeah.
Swing or long-term short. I've not heard anybody say that.
was that just a top there?
No, just for one thing for you guys. This got missed today, and I don't remember if we found anything out, but BlackBerry did this overnight, and then this today. It's down 18% because it's actually bounced off the lows, but I don't mind. This will be a continuation flat bottom break trade. I don't know where's the actual bottom here. Just keep zooming out. Eventually, you find it. Okay, so at least the 2023 bottom was also here. Tomorrow, BlackBerry, if it's underneath $3.20, I'm going to look for a continuation short on this thing. There might be an SSR bounce, but I like those at even dollars, so unless it falls to 2 or 250, forget about it. BlackBerry, I almost don't care what the reason is. If it's down 18% and breaks a level like that, it's a short till it ain't. That's my motto. I will try to find the news.
I think it was Market Chameleon also has the implied move. Yeah, they do. Yeah, okay. So here we go. All right. So we'll go for today, right? The 24th. Do they have it? Yeah, okay. So they do have it right here. We don't have to do too much work. There it is, 7.4%.
Oh, 4.
Last earnings was minus 9%. Right there. So you could see the last couple earnings dates that came through. So again, pretty negative heading into the quarter last time. October, these are all October numbers, so we'll find out about Tesla, but its previous move was down 10. Its expected move is 7.5% one way or the other. ASML, previous move was minus 4%, expected move minus 4.5. And what is ASML's move today? 9. So they doubled, 10 now. They doubled that one. Tonight we also have IBM, so there's an implied move right there of 4.3. And how they get this is all via the options. So all of this is just via options. What are the implied moves? And that's good that they have this here. You can see what does this information say. Yeah, it's derived from the front month expiration. Yeah, there we go. So talks about options there. That's good. Other than that, ServiceNow, 5.4%. The biggest implied move, obviously, is going to be Tesla there. Not obvious, but then Crown Castle, 6.1% coming through tonight, and then something called ResMed, 8%. But anyways, it's a big earnings move today here.
Also remember like the previous moves too. Like how big was it last time?
It's like that so much stuff has changed now, right?
Well, I mean, that's like a Lamb, it says 5.5, but it moved 6% last time.
Get down,
I think
Tesla.
LRCX we'll be paying attention to. It feels like the chips, the problem for Lamb today is what everything else did. Like after what happened with ASML and NVDA and all of the chip names today, it kind of puts some pressure on Lamb to not just be good, but be great. Like I worry about that.
Good to great.
In Lamb. Like it broke highs, everything was running. Like the stock in the last week,
already.
It's 20%. It's 20% in a week going into earnings. All these chip names, it's going to be tough. They have to be so good. Like by the time you get to NVIDIA, what are the chances that it's going to be at a price that it can hold on to? So it's 348. I should probably just get out of the last IO. But Lamb, I think, is after the bell. I have no idea what time they are or when they usually report. You guys are probably more interested in Tesla. Lamb's just the kind of thing where you note what happened and you prepare based on the reaction, read the report, get an idea, kind of like you weren't trading ASML today, or maybe some people were, but we weren't trading it. We're reacting to it. I'm just going to get on the offer here and get out of NIO. There's a brick wall at $6.10 because why wouldn't there be? What else is going on? Yeah, Mobileye down to Sky. Yeah, Mobileye. I love you, Mobileye. Where's Mobileye?
Oh, is that after? There's so many things after market.
Gates of hell.
Oh my
Mobileye.
God! Make sure you join today.
Yeah,
we do have the market recap.
That's another mover, right? EV's under pressure. They're adjacent, obviously EV adjacent because of automated driving. It hasn't been good for Mobileye at all.
Has Sharif mentioned his LI position yet? Like
He covered.
Oh, okay.
He's out.
Where? I guess we'll never know.
No, we'll ask.
Okay, I just was saying that because of EVs. I don't know enough about that.
I remember him coming in and telling me he was out. I didn't make a mental note of where it was. I don't remember if he said the price. I'm going to presume, looking at a chart, I know he's a chart guy. So my guess is if you were getting out of a long position in Li Auto, it was either when it gapped under here and you covered at 30, or when it closed under the 50 period, the 200 period, and then covered like here. So like 32.5 or 30, or sometimes I don't know. I'm speculating.
I don't know.
I know he's out. I don't know where. This is the EV names are going the wrong direction.
Okay, it's 350.
I just got out of NIO on that 350 spike. So we got AT&T. They're going to be they reported 1.4 million to the sell side. Lucid's a 2 million buy. TLT, that's a 20-year Treasury ETF, is 4.3 to the sell side. I never see that actually matter, guys. Intel's a 1.4 sell as well. RTX is a buy, 1.3 Enbridge. That'll always pair off, but that's a 1 million sell. AMD, there you go, is a big name. 900,000 to the sell side on AMD. Marvell, 800,000 to the sell side. It's got to be a decent size. 4 billion in sell side imbalance.
What?
I was about to say, this is adding up to like some sell side. So 4 billion is more than I would have thought. Apple wasn't there a second ago. Apple, 2 million to the sell side. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, where's my bid? Oh, there it is. All right.
Lucid, that's out of nowhere. To the bottom.
There it is. Yeah, Lucid. That's we'll face slap on this one because SoFi, man.
Why is this to buy?
Did it top to bottom. We just get 55s, or did we get 56s? What did we get? We got 56. So 56 there on SoFi. All right, we made a little bit back. Looks like we might lose it here again on Tesla. That's funny that it's a sell and. It's just ripping.
It's a big sell.
Yeah, right now. So Tesla went down. We got stopped. Then we put some more on there, and the only more on would be me. 207.85. We got some fills there, and then we got another one at 70. We are bidding 70 again. Get down right now for Tesla back into the downside. I was thinking that hey, maybe we do collapse a little bit here into the close. We have a 30-cent winner on. We're not making back everything that we lost, but if we do get this fill, I'm waiting at 74s. If that does come in, that'll be pretty good and we'll be on our way. But for right now, it is just a little bit of a dance here on Tesla. I got to run over to that desk and get set up. So I kind of don't want this to be just hanging around right now. I'd like to be out of this if we can get out of it. So we'll wait to see about Tesla. Hopefully it gets us that 70. I mean, I could just take a fill here. I'm running out of patience a little bit because I do want to get over there and get ready for everybody. We'll put a bid in the 90s. Maybe it comes back in and gets it to us. Otherwise, we don't have very many shares left. I just was hoping that we could get a tank. It doesn't look like that will be coming through. So we'll end the day here. It looks like it'll be a little red on Tesla despite having a great trade early, but then just kind of holding it all the way down. And actually, that was good. It's just this last little bit there that messed us up. But we could, I mean, all we have to do is get filled. There it is. We'll take a 93 fill there. That was pretty good. And then if we get something back in the 70s, then that'll be good. And maybe we should just hold something for earnings, but that seems a little dangerous at this point. So, all right, there comes Tesla. We'll take a little bit of money back on this name. We just took 30 cents on it. We want more than that. I am bidding 75s. We talked about that. Hopefully we get a little bit of a flush down. I'm just gonna wait till 355, and then that might mean a reversal in all of the moves. So we'll see. Here it comes. Come on.
We're pairing off a bit.
Yeah, we're 2 cents away from getting filled on Tesla. So there it is right there. Yes, sir. Go into the gates of hell. We actually wind up Okay, now we're making some back for sure. Now we're 50 cents in the money on Tesla here, bringing it back down. So that short looks like it's okay, but we had to wait for it up at 208.20. Unfortunately, we didn't have the patience earlier.
Mohan answered your question. Sean has Bitcoin price on his screen, A, so you guys can see it, but B, he was trading Coinbase.
Yeah.
Today. Like if you trade Mara or Coinbase, like I always have a trade, not trade ideas. Well, I do have trade ideas always up, but I have a trading view chart of BTCs that I track
Tesla.
all day long. I'm not going to trade Mara or any of those blind. I always want to make sure what's going on. I know what's going on. There was some pair off, but you're still seeing sell and bounce here. Like Apple went from 2 million to 1.7. That's not much. I just saw Intel pair off there. It's now 1.2 to the downside. But the market, it was $4 billion to sell, and it's still mostly sell side. And this market is showing the effects of that by breaking the lows. I'm going to do it this way. The ES breaking already broke the lows a while ago. But you're getting this on the NASDAQ. You're just breaking the low of the day here on the NASDAQ. The ES is already gone underneath 49. It's going to go red in a couple of seconds here. The ES will be red for the day. The NASDAQ's holding up. And if you don't know why the NASDAQ is still up, then you weren't watching the chip names today. But giving a lot back in the market is at the end of the day here.
Ooh, we are now $1. We were just $1 in the money. We are not anymore on Tesla as it just bounced off. I'm bidding 207, so maybe we can get a 207 fill down there. And then that'll make it all good, baby. We still will have an LFT. That's a loss from top. But this move is nice. Let's see if we can get another one back in right now as these imbalances will start to pair off a little bit here at 355. So there it is, and it goes the other way for Tesla. So RTX still there, TKO, Coke, of course, Pfizer, TD Bank is there, BlackBerry, we talked about that a little bit. Lucid, yeah, did BlackBerry bounce off that? It was down 20%. No, it didn't.
Well, okay, no, okay, it did.
It was down 20.
It was from down 20% to down 17.5%.
Still yucky on that one, but yeah, not much happening there for BlackBerry. Oh yeah, see that? We were just at 207.30 and I didn't get out, and then it just ripped all the way up.
55 reversal, man.
Yeah, I was hoping that it was going to go the other way, but it didn't. So, all right, we'll wait for 207.50, and we got to get over there. So far, so good. Hopefully, we get a 207.50 fill. But join me in just a couple days, a couple minutes, and a couple days.
In literally, yeah, well, a couple of days too, because
Bill
that'll
Tesla.
be Friday. With 4 minutes to go, it is literally 50-50 on the poll. We used the reference price of yesterday's close because who knew an hour ago where it was going to close, but it's exact 51 to 49%, 51% saying Tesla will be higher after earnings than 209.14, which is where it closed yesterday, and some 50% saying lower. So it's a complete coin flip right now from our viewers. Shout out to everyone in the chat that voted in the poll. But hey, man, don't just vote on the poll. Also, I pity the fool that doesn't hit the like and subscribe button.
Yeah.
Well, that's a face. I don't know why I made that face. Mr. T didn't make that face.
We out Tesla.
Yeah, so look, we have 3 minutes to go here. It's been a great and fun day trading, but wow, we get to go back and do all of it again tomorrow. Enjoy. I'm in no positions. I cancel all my stop orders, all that good stuff. It's an exciting day for earnings, man. I can't say this enough. When you get earnings season, it becomes like the market can do whatever the heck it wants to do. But you get things like, you saw NVIDIA today, you saw SMCI, you saw the chip names, you saw what was going on with the EVs in the other direction. So we're going to get a little bit of that as well. Like it's just complete wild, crazy action. Don't forget Mobileye is going to be reporting. We already gone through all of this, but some of the names that are coming up right after the bell, Tesla, Mobileye, Lam. I think Lam's probably more important than Mobileye. I just keep saying Mobileye because I'm in it. Can you show earnings quick, says Hampton's Trader. Well, you know what I did? I was like, yeah, I have a market chameleon thing too. Like Sean always shows this. I'm like, I don't usually bother. But we have Tesla. Obviously, ASML was this morning. So you're looking for the ones that are aftermarket. You've got IBM. You've got ServiceNow. We've got Lam. I think Lam is going to be a big one. They're another chip supplier. So they're a big time mover of the markets. I don't think they can do what ASML did. It's going to be difficult because everything already ran so far. Those are the big ones. Tomorrow morning, you've got 3 airlines, including Alaska. Alaska, that should be pretty big. The airlines have been movers. You don't want to sleep on those at all. I don't know if the DWAC story is done or not done, but we did talk about once the primaries were settled, which it doesn't, like, they're settled, man. Like, I'm not going to, we don't really get into politics, but that's it. So DWAC ran into it and then it kind of sold off once everything was sort of settled. Maybe you can bounce tomorrow, but the bigger levels are a heck of a lot lower than that. I think it's going to be worth at least having them have it on your radar, just in case we get down to like 26, 28. That's where it based out before. I think you could head back into those levels. Until it gets there, I think I sit that one out. Don't forget the Chinese ADRs as well. Alibaba is still in the midst of a breakout. It didn't care what the market was doing. It's going to close near the high, so up 1.5% and closing to its local highs. Always pay attention to trending stocks or in-play stocks. What did the late money want to do? Is a weak stock ending up on the lows? Is a strong stock ending up at those highs? If people aren't taking profit, it means they're confident in the move in a general sense. So when a stock is trying to make a move off the bottom like a BABA, it matters to me that it's holding at the high when the market's breaking lower. So this one's still going to be on my like side for the upside. We got about 30 seconds to go here till the market closes. I wonder what stock I should pull up going into the close. Maybe it should be Rivian. Said absolutely nobody ever. Although if Tesla gets destroyed, then your Rivian shares are probably in trouble tomorrow as well. Adair is going to be on the bell, so you got to get the camera off of me and get it onto her. We got 10 seconds till the bell. Tesla won't be right at 4 o'clock, but don't worry, we're going to have you covered anyways. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and ring it. So thanks to a late rally, the ES closes up 0.1%. It was going red a second ago. The NASDAQ just over 0.5%, so not all bad there. Tesla is going to end up closing red by 1%. We're not expecting them till sometime after the bell. I think I heard 4:10. So we're going to have a few minutes before they get in there. I want to give a special shout out and a thank you, as always, to Fabian and Ramin. Fabian's feeling better. He's back on the ones and twos. Ramin's did a fantastic job filling in. Well, not filling in, but sort of riding the ship by herself and running the ship by herself. I think she did a fantastic job, so thank you there. Midday was, as always, fantastic. We had Adara and Sharif going over candlestick patterns for you. Thought that was great. It's always great. We're going to get on over to the desk in a quick second. Shout out and thank you to Brendan, as always, at the big desk, giving us that live news. It's 4 o'clock. There's a lot to cover in the market recap show. You've got earnings to go over. You've got earnings to cover that will happen, and you got earnings tomorrow morning. It is earnings season. Let's get to the market recap show at the desk with Sean.
10 right now. What's up, everybody? Thank you so much. As we get ready to go, we thought it was going to be 4 o'clock, 4:10 coming for Tesla, but Tesla right now is down to 207 and change. You got to get that position board off there, and then we'll be able to see this. Down to 207 and change right now for Tesla. Here is the live look. We were just short it all afternoon. Well, we were long and then short. You guys that were with me just saw that. So stay tuned for Tesla. This segment, of course, brought to you by, and the whole show, I don't know if it's a segment or not, but brought to you by Benzinga right now. Ooh, CSX comes out with some earnings. So we're here right now. Let's get some earnings through, man. CSX right here. I don't know if you're excited about this, but beats right now, 45 cents. Again, not a super sexy company, CSX. Let's just see what they're doing off the open here as we get ready. Ooh, a nice little move upside, of course, not CVX. Nice CSX Corporation. Nice move. The first one out of the gate here today on earnings day. But hey, welcome. We've got all this covered for you. UNG today up 4. Look at this. What a battle back in FXI. Left for dead down here at 20. Today, the Chinese names bark again. And we had Alibaba on the downside there. So that's a good one. I feel like we always want to watch Tesla. Let me just do like this. So there you go. You could see Tesla right here then. How about that? Maybe we can do a little bit different because I do want to make sure that we can see some of the changes here. How about just this? We'll change this over to a 1-minute chart. So we'll have Tesla up here. If something happens, we'll have a quick look. FXI, OIH today to the downside. Let me just see if I can move this. Here, let's do it like this. Now you can see Tesla, right? 207.20, 207.45. We have a live Tesla quote right here for you. If you're joining me, welcome, man. Traders stay late, and you're joining at the best times because we're going to have earnings season bonanza starting this week, man. We had Netflix live for you yesterday. We had the bottom for Netflix. We said, what? It went down, and we're like, okay. And then boom to the upside as the report comes in. My eyes are peeled to Benzinga Pro. As soon as anything hits here, we will will get it for you. I got Brendo here as well for a couple minutes. If he sees something, we'll get that to you immediately. Right now, there goes Netflix. Wow. Sorry, Tesla. I don't know if it's out or not, but Tesla's downside right now. It just, wow, what a day. We just went to 206. Now we're to 208. It has to be out, Tesla, I'd say. It is probably out right now, and it's moving around. We don't have anything. 210, 211 for Tesla, starting to go upside right now. I don't have the numbers, but it's moving around. Brendan waiting for it. 210. I don't know if we're out. Maybe something leaked. Guys, we're back down to 206, Brendan. 205. What? It's out. It's out. Brendan has it. We're going to get those numbers in just a second. He'll text those to me. 204. Tesla goes up to 211. Remember I said, do not trade on balance here. Tesla right now, 211 upside, 204 downside, and we're still in the same area. Don't have the numbers yet. Brendan's going to get that to me when he gets a chance. Waiting for the chat. It's going to have to be on the company chat if you have that, because that's where I am over here. Here it is right now. All right, Tesla revenue Q4, 25.17. Estimate 25.8, lower on revenues. EPS 71 versus 73, lower. Tesla free cash flow 2.06 versus 1.45, higher on cash flow. What are they going to do with that? Gross margin down 17.6 versus 18.1 on the gross margin number. Tesla's a miss, and it is starting to go to the downside right now. Wow, craziness abound in Tesla. Here's the numbers from Benzinga, so we could talk about this. We have Tesla right here on the screen as I point to it. Here it is right now. It's a miss. 71 cents versus 74. Ciao, Bella. We were just short 209. Can you believe this? Tesla downside misses. Miss on revenue. It's getting clocked. It's Tesla. It's down to 2 bills right now. See you later. Tesla downside. Missing everywhere, it looks like. Sales 25.17 billion. Missing the 25.6 billion. Brendan, if you have that 198 bid, get ready to get that ding. You're filled. Down here to 199. Here, if it's 198 flat, get ready for Stressla. We are getting stressed out. You're long, Brendan. Congratulations. Tesla breaks through 198 and now 197 and change. Ciao. If you do have those stink bids, it's 196er, and it is Tesla. Mixer with the elixir. Tesla downside right now and getting clocked. Tesla down 6%. Congratulations, Miss Danielle Shea. Congratulations, Miss Shea. She was talking about the short. Congratulations, Brendan. You're $1 in the money right now as you go back up to 199 and change. Those stink bids smell pretty good today as we get some downside pushes on Tesla. And here it is right here, right now. There it is, man. Tesla downside right here on the 1 minute chart. Well, I don't have no idea why this chart's not updating. Here, go to the daily for Tesla down here right now. 196 for Tesla. Still printing lower. 196 as it goes. We'll hit a fail. Look at this. Guys, you want to know my Tesla trading? Oh, by the way, about sector recap. What sectors? Look at that. Look where I was short. Hey, guys. Hey, it's me. These purples are all shorts, Brendo. I mean, did I hold anything over into the aftermarket? We're not allowed. There it is right now. Oh, it would, this would just be a $13 winner. Here's the 208 shorts down to 196. We just touched 195er. Man, Brendan must be holding this market up. We're bouncing in and around 197. And by the way, Lamb Research is out. Let's go over to Lamb Research right now. I apologize if you're here for sector recap, but we're going to do what we want to do here. LRCX, let's see what's going on with Lamb Research. Man, we did a pretty good job, man. We sold NVIDIA at 625. We sold Meta at the tops today. Maybe it's time to buy back in. Oh, shoot, it's Lamb Research, and it's a downside move for Lamb Research as well. What kind of numbers do we have right here? I better take a drink here. I'm going to have a heart attack in about a second. LRCX, where is it? I just saw it. Here it is right here. That's okay, we got it. Lamb Research right there. EPS 752, beat 710. Sales, beats on sales. So what's up with this? We're going to find out more about Lamb Research because it's looking pretty juicy, but yet it is a nice downside move for Lamb. Guesses on Tesla, 195. 2 bills, Brendan, right now. We've got a nice little bounce back there in Tesla. There it is, man. Get that 196, get those stink bids out there. It's Tesla with a nice downside move. Uh-oh. Tesla says, we have sufficient liquidity to fund product roadmaps? Yeah, I hope so. I hope they have significant liquidity down there. If not, they're owned by some kind of a billionaire, so that should be okay. Long-term capacity expansion plans and other expenses, so that's good as they continue to talk about their future. The business such that we maintain a strong balance sheet, good. So we talked about free cash flow, higher than normal. Our vehicle volume growth rate may be notably, this is not good. IBM is out, but right here, this is not good. Our vehicle volume growth rate may be notably lower than that achieved in 2023. It's this word that scares me, notably lower than last year. So whatever, it's down 5% right now. That is Tesla. But I'm an IBM shareholder. I've been for probably about 20 years. Big Blue is a big beat, it looks like. 387 versus 378. Sales also beating. We'll find out where they're thinking. Here it is. They are seeing FY24 currency revenue growth, consistent mid-range single digits. Okay, so let's go back over here. I'm not just going to read all this. Oh, yeah, it's a Tesla time. Back up to the upside. What is IBM doing, though, right now? IBM down 4. So they don't like what they talked about, but IBM, that was on the day. There it is. That was Tesla. IBM up right now, up 5% on that report. Looks like IBM starting to feel ways about this. Let's go over here and see where we are on IBM on the daily. I'm just going to use Trade Ideas charts. Hello. Who's got IBM calls? Not me, but we got shares. Nice upside move for IBM. Now, where are we on this movement? Nice little move there. Where are we on the weekly chart? I feel like we're blowing past everything right now. Yes, IBM well up, man. Look at this. We talked about this yesterday with Chris, right? Names that are near their highs. Check out Netflix. Check out IBM. Look what's happening. It's right there at past all-time highs for IBM, 168. Blast to the high side right there for IBM. Let's check out Tesla. Drinks on Brendan. It's at 202 right now for the upside. So there goes Tesla. Bad day for them. Not a bad day for them, but they did hit the downside. As you could see here, let's just do a 3-minute chart for Tesla. Downside 212, closing the day at the lows in and around 207. We had those shorts, 208s, 209s. You guys know about that. There's the push down. If you had a bid at 195, congratulations. We just hit that on Tesla. Wow. Good little bid down there, man, at 198 up to 204. That bottom for Tesla, 196. And now we're starting to run back up to the upside, I guess, as the report comes out, people sort of dig through it. Definitely the margin was a problem. Tesla's margin, we just had that 17.6% versus an estimate of 18.1. As prices come in for Tesla, obviously it's squeezed on the margins. But guess what he's doing? He's shoving Rivian and all these other guys out of business because of the pricing. But Rivian says, hold my beer on that one. Rivian actually tanks pretty good down to 15 flat there for Rivian. Now bouncing a little bit on that one. Wow, Rivian, guys, 15 flat. Is that the low? The low is 1388, I believe. Down there. No, sorry, 1188 is the low there, not 13. But look at Rivian right at these levels. And you might say, when does Rivian report? Often I'll talk to myself and pretend like it's what you guys are saying, so I don't sound as crazy. Okay, good question, whoever asked that. February 21st for Rivian, so we got to wait a couple minutes on that one as well, coming into 15:25 or so for Rivian. We do have Tammy in the green room right now, getting ready to rock and roll, so we'll talk about some things with her. She messaged me, we're going to talk a little bit about Tesla, and I said, hey, we're going to talk about whatever you want. So she's going to come up with some ideas as well, maybe what they're looking at over at where it's not Simpler Trading. Where Tammy, she's going to double check that where we can find her when she comes on in a couple seconds. iBit right now, that is Bitcoin. They had an okay day today, up 1.4%. Ethereum, I think, was a little bit better on the day, up 1.7% for the Grayscale Ethereum product. Man, did we have the trade of the day on coin. And we talked about coin. Look at IBM. IBM working, baby. We definitely like that one. ServiceNow. Okay, we'll get to ServiceNow in just a couple seconds. Maybe we should do that right now instead of talking about trades. Look at this Coinbase trade, guys. Short 125, cover right there, 121. That's a good trade. Yeah, but you guys are right. Let's go over some earnings plays again because ServiceNow is a big one. Shout out to Frank Slootman and everybody with ServiceNow. Let me go find out if we have that report before we actually look at the stock. There it is right now, ServiceNow. So I like to do this and we can try to figure out where it's going. So ServiceNow right now, subscriptions a little bit, I don't know if that's higher or lower, but here it is right here. Q4 sales beating right now on ServiceNow. So that looks like a good little level there for them. ServiceNow Q4 EPS 311, well beating 279. So in big data and in advertising, let's go over to now. Look, this beat for me, wow, okay. What a name ServiceNow is. This, we'll have to go find out where these guys IPO as soon as I say that it just comes back in. But what a name for these guys and what a little move this name's had. Oh, you know what? ServiceNow is just up about $130 since the beginning of the year. SMCI only up 75% year to date, which is absolutely crazy. ServiceNow getting hit right now on that subscription number, I guess. That's the latest data that we have. What does this mean for Palantir? Nothing. What does this mean for Google? Palantir is just data, Google's ads, Meta as well today. Okay, so Meta, nice day. I sold some midday. We talked about it hitting the 1 trillion club midday on Meta. I sold some Meta today, some NVIDIA, and some AMD all midday because we're off the show. That's just kind of fluke that they all kind of fell in there, but we did sell some AMD in and around 180. Closing price for AMD 178. It was more NVIDIA that really pulled back in, and then we did get some Meta out in and around $400. But today's day is Tesla day. So if you're rocking with me, make sure you hit the like, make sure you hit the subscribe. This does turn into another video and a podcast, right? At 4:30, so you guys can check that out. So if you're on your way home and you want to listen to something, check this out on the train, wherever you are. Podcast Nation, YouTube, it's all over the place. Spotify, Apple, wherever you can find it, you can get it. There it is, nice move back in right now off that 205. We'll have a look at that with Tesla, but how, wow. So a couple names just to go over quickly. Tesla right now down 3%. It's okay, man. It was down to 195. We'll see if that can hold. IBM up 5 and looking to go higher. ServiceNow, another big one that we are waiting for. That's still up 3, looking to go. Any other names I'm seeing here? We got, I don't really see anything else that was significant. So if she's ready, let's go. Hi, Tammy. Maybe I get to catch my breath a little bit. It's nice to see you. How are you?
It's great to see you, Sean. I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Good. I like seeing that smile. I tweeted that out that we can't wait to get you on the show because now we have the Fibonacci Princess. And whenever you have princesses live on the air, that's pretty special. So thank you once again for coming through. Wow, what a number there from Tesla going back down into 196. Do you have anything for me on those fibs? Because should have we expected
Of course I do.
a bounce? No? Should have we expected a bounce in and around that level 195, Tammy?
Yeah, absolutely. I've got a huge cluster of support right there, actually.
All right, let's look.
And it actually goes all the way back to that original high from the 19th of July. And then we've also got some symmetry and extensions from that high from the 15th of September. And then, of course, I've also correlated with some of the more recent information that we've got here. So yeah, I think what will happen is we may come back through all this symmetry here, come down to this area. It is 191
Okay.
to about 194 is what I've got here as a very nice area of support. It's actually exactly where we bounced Halloween,
Right.
October 31st.
Right,
2023.
those Halloween bottoms. This is probably
Yep.
this is probably the only big name. I can't think of another one that's anywhere near their Halloween bottom. So we'll have to check that out about Tesla. And quite frankly, that 17.6% margin, I think that's fine. They were only expecting 18.1 for me. That's the reason for the pull down there. That's Tesla. Where can everybody find you, by the way, Tammy?
Well, I am at Elliott Wave Trader.
Okay.
I'm at Elliott Wave Trader. I do live charts there. And then I am going to do some sessions and classes with Simpler Trading. And I
Okay.
used to be with Simpler Trading. I'm going back to Simpler Trading. My husband is actually still there. And we're just going through some contract negotiations right now. So,
All
you
right,
know.
all right, all right. I just wanted to say, because people are
But
looking
I'm
to
at Elliott Wave Trader. I do live charts at Elliott Wave Trader.
Okay, perfect. The best way to get a hold of you, we have it up there on X at tradertammy1.
Yes. Yes.
So we'll go ahead and find that. Absolutely amazing little run that we've had in this market. I mean, I just said some names like SMCI up 70% in the last month since Jan 1 here. And by the way, I cannot believe that I look at the watch here and it's the 24th of January. Like, what happened? I thought me and you were just talking about like Christmas pageants or whatever that we were just at. And now all of a sudden we're almost near Valentine's Day, actually, believe it or not. It's coming up a little bit closer here as we go. What, Ramin, you got any plans over there for Valentine's Day? All right, what ideas do you have for us?
Well, my anniversary is right at Valentine's Day, so.
Oh, well, I guess that was done on purpose?
It was. We were supposed to get married on Valentine's Day, and then Costa Rica doesn't do weddings on Sundays, and Valentine's Day hit on a Sunday that year. So we had to get married on Saturday, February 13th.
Wow, okay. Lucky number 13. I like that.
Right.
Okay, so a few downside pushes here. We do have some earnings names coming through like Microsoft, Google, all the big ones, Apple still to come. And then, of course, we have a lot of the chip names that haven't reported yet. We had a nice number from ASML earlier. Any opinions on the market? Anything specifically that you're looking at? Anything setting up that we want to discuss here?
Well, I'll tell you that I really like Apple. I know it's had some bad press lately, but you know, once you get through that bad press, a lot of times everybody forgets about it, and then you know you just move on. That's why we like to stick with the technicals and not worry, you know, not as much about you know what's going on in the news. You want to combine it with both, obviously, but what I like about Apple is obviously we're definitely in a bullish market. We're looking for a pullback here on the indices and in other stocks, and a lot of stocks are just super extended right now. But with Apple, what the difference is we're actually still inside of this larger swing that hit. You were talking around Halloween. A lot of things had their low. Well, so did Apple. It was October 26th. And from that low, we're still in that larger swing where the targets are 207 and 218. Okay, and then we had this massive pullback. This is where you saw the news come in, okay? And it came down into a cluster of support that I have that also correlated with the 200 moving day average. So I told my clients I love this setup zone. It was a huge cluster. A cluster is 3 or more Fibonacci price relationships that come together to form a setup. And it hit and held there on the 5th of January, has had a nice bounce. Came up to that 786, and that's where we're really seeing this pullback now. So what I'm looking for on a lower time frame chart is a pullback into support because we're too far away from these other risk zones, right? This is what's great about our work. You can't risk 165 anymore. It's too low.
Right.
You can't risk 177, 180 anymore. It's too far away. So what I'm looking for is a pullback on a lower time frame chart, such as this 30-minute chart, which I have live in my trading room.
Yep.
And, you know, look for a trigger or some sort of indicator to tell you that zone is going to hold to ride you up to these larger targets up here at 207 and 218.
Yeah, I do feel like if this market does pull back in, I recently bought some more Apple as well, in and around 180, well, exactly 186. So I feel like I like that name, and I'm with you on some of that news. We talk about it all the time live on the show. I feel like it gets upgraded, like it'll get downgraded on Tuesday, then upgraded on Thursday, and then all of a sudden it's like, no one's talking about that. So a good little look there for Apple. Are you an Apple or an Android person? Family?
Apple.
Everybody in the family, because that's what
everybody's Apple. Everybody in my family.
That's what switched me as
brothers, you know.
Can we talk a little bit
aunts,
about
uncles, cousins, grandparents? You know?
Okay, so let's go long on Apple. Why not? Me and you had talked about this a little bit before as well, and it's Eli Lilly, and it's just like, I don't know if you have a chart up of that as well. We can go, I'll let you load it up and we'll focus on mine here for a second. But like this is the daily down here on Eli Lilly, and it's just pushing the highs. Like it's just over and over and over again, continuing going higher. Eli Lilly, we know sort of the story behind all the drugs and that they're changing the world and all that stuff. I feel like we can buy this name on dips. Their earnings is coming February the 6th. So give us some levels, maybe, if you do see anything possibly for Eli Lilly. Maybe I'm putting you on the spot if there's something else.
No. I've got it in my, believe me, I've got hundreds of charts.
Oh, I believe
just in different workspaces. So here's Lilly. I found it. And this is basically what I have on Lilly. here again, we are still inside of this larger swing that we haven't met the targets off of yet. And those targets, we got close, of course,
Yep.
you know, but those targets are 652 and 680. I did set up the side of the bulls, and I had some clients take this in addition to, you know, I've talked about my husband before that's been trading for, I don't know, 35 years now. And that was a nice setup zone around that 604, 611 area to get back into Lilly if you had already gotten out on this run up here, you know, because a lot of people got out. So that's what I do with my work. So yeah, I still feel great about Lilly. All the moving averages are on the side of the bulls. We still haven't gotten too extended yet. So if you went down to a lower time frame chart, as a matter of fact, I can just look at it here.
Yeah.
You're not in Lilly yet.
Yeah, I want to talk about, Tammy, I want to talk about worst case scenario, because the thing is like most traders right now, I feel like are going to be a little long Lilly, because the story's not a brand new one. I just, as we head into earnings, I feel like we've had such a huge run in some of these names. And I just thinking like, if we do pull back, like people might not want to sell, because I feel like, and there's been talk from everybody's favorite, Mr. Jim Cramer, about booting out Tesla out of the Mag 7 and putting in Eli Lilly. But my main problem is where are we if we miss on the next earnings report? So that's something that I was looking for. I
have to tell you, what we say with the work is that, you know, I don't know if it's the best term to use, but it's the one that Carolyn Brodin, the Fibonacci queen, came up with. And, you know, I'm the Fibonacci princess, and she says it's a crapshoot.
Yeah, earnings are a crapshoot.
When it comes to our work, we don't know what's going to happen with earnings. Support can be completely violated, or resistance can be completely violated. I will tell you this, you know, as far as I feel with it, you know, it just seems like some of their drugs are a little too good to be true to me. So I, you know, personally, I don't know if it's a great idea to ever hold through earnings. If you've got a nice profit, take the green. You're never going to go broke taking profits.
I do not hate that as an area there. Okay, I've thrown a couple names. Was there, you said Apple. I think that's really going to work for us. Let me find out. Do you know when Apple reports? They report, Feb 1st. Okay, so that's next week coming there for Apple. I actually like the Apple story. I think we could take out that high, go above that 200, and then just continue on for Apple. So I really like that call. Eli Lilly, I do take your advice serious there. I'm like I was doing today, trimming out a little bit, right? Ahead of AMD, ahead of NVIDIA, ahead of Meta. Those names I feel like are getting a little bit run too high, as is Eli Lilly. By the way, just a quick check on Tesla right now. I know there's a lot of people that are like, okay, let's go back over to Tesla just real quick. Tesla did find some support. It's looking like it has some here around 200, Tammy. So we'll see if it wants to hold a couple bouncing spots there in and around 200, a high of 205. So we'll bounce in and around this 205 to 200 area, and then we'll take in consideration some of the support levels that you mentioned down there, 194 and change, 191, if we can get that low on Tesla. But one more thought, and then I got to let you go. So what would that be, Tammy? Give me one more thought on anything.
I actually was looking at your sticky notes. And I thought Disney was an interesting choice, and I like it. So all the moving averages are on the side of the bulls now with Disney. We do have a bit of an uphill battle, as you can see here. But all the moving averages, we've gotten above that 200 moving day average, which is the pink line. We're above the 50. The 5 has, which is the blue line, has crossed above the 13. So this is a pullback zone. Plus, we're still inside of this previous swing here, and I like that. Okay. So I like this pullback zone with Disney. I like this as an idea to get in, know that your risk is defined. And, you know, if we go below about that 90 area there, it means we're going to make a deeper downside correction, because this is the support for this swing up. So anytime you take out the support, which the last one is here at 89.75, it bodes for us to take out this low if we keep going further down.
All right, so you and I...
That's when we know we're in trouble, because guess what? We would have all the moving averages back on the side of the bears. So I think this is a good opportunity to know that your risk is defined. I'd want you to risk anywhere from 89 to 93 to get into this Disney setup.
Yep, so if we break through 89, the mouse has left the house.
Yes, TGIF, remember? Get the
Oh, right.
get the funds out.
Get the funds
I mean,
out. Oh, yeah,
TG
that's right. Get the funds out.
TGFO, I mean.
I like that.
Get the funds
Get the funds
out.
in or out. Okay. Thank you,
Get,
Tammy.
you know what out.
I always like when we're on the same page there with Disney. Good number from Netflix. I thought streaming would have helped them, but Disney today turning red. We'll watch out for their report on February 7th. Thank you so much, Tammy. Everyone can, of course, find you right there at the bottom of our screen on X.
Yes.
So
Trader Tammy 1, the Fibonacci Princess. I help you define your risk. And I'm a great tool in your toolbox for your trading.
It's all about Fibonacci's, and it's all about the Fibonacci Princess. Take it easy, and we'll check you around
Thank
later.
you for having me. Take care.
Ciao. Na, 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 na. There it is. It's Tammy. And that was fun. Meanwhile, we have Tesla still bouncing around. We just showed you that. That's kind of not doing that much, so I didn't want to interrupt because it's not moving. IBM as well. Thank you so much for joining. Look at IBM. Again, nice move to the upside. Now trying to base out. We'll see what this market has tomorrow. Let's see what the Qs think about all of this. So this is the NASDAQ 100. I think we'll probably open lower tomorrow. Again, a lot of it's going to depend on what we see from AMD and NVIDIA. Apple probably going to hold those highs. Microsoft and Meta could pull back a little bit as well. So we'll see. Let me see what Microsoft did on this number. Yeah, I mean, again, we're basically flat. We just went over a little bit of Apple with Tammy, AAPL. So Apple's downside a little bit here in the aftermarket, down to 194. Again, Apple had a nice day, man, opening the day quite nicely on the high side for Apple, and then obviously faded back out here. There's Apple to start the day up at 196 and then closing on its lows. That's never a great sign there for Apple. I think the NASDAQ goes a little lower there tomorrow. Again, here's the Qs. You could see, we're going to find out. It's still an up day, but we'll find out. Well, it shows, actually, it was not an up day on the Qs, was it, today? So we had yesterday's close. Yeah, downside. Here's the Qs right here. So we have it as a green day for the Qs. Shout out to Dookie on green day. All right, so let's go over. What do we have next? Sticky note review. All right, we can do that, but we don't have too much on the sticky note today. We had Disney there. We had Alibaba on the sticky note as well. So we'll have a quick look there. Whoa, there it is right there. The $1 trillion club. Welcome Meta and Mr. Mark Zuckerberg. Is he out of his bunker? We'll find out about that on his earnings call. But here's the sticky note today. So we had Affirm as a short. The thing about Affirm was a short. It was short all day, but it never got to our levels. I was hoping for a bump up. Good luck. You always need luck. Alibaba, the 74 long. Let's talk about that real quickly. AMD, we had the long there, but the wrong prices. We could talk about our AMD trade. Tesla, the long was right, 210 early. It went to 212. We held it thinking we could moon. It looks like it's the other way around. And then there's the Disney long at 94 as well. So we could talk about that. We pretty much had all of these trades. Tesla, here it is early. There's the 210. Here's our out, 211.50. It does go to 212. Then we played the long again, and we're eventually playing the short. We hit the short, we made a little bit of money on that, but then this happened and we're not allowed to hold after market. The real winner from the sticky note, of course, was Alibaba. The Alibaba trade was huge off the sticky note. There it was at 94. So we waited for it. 94 bounced, 94.30. That wasn't close enough. Let me see if we can zoom in. When that hit the second time, so there's the first time we're waiting at 74, it doesn't hit. Comes back to 74, it hits. We take it out for 20 cents. Then we take it out 30s. Then we get out to 50 period moving average VWAP for about 50 cents. Then it climbs back up to the high and we get out 75 on the 200 period. So that's a dollar club winner right there. It does go a little bit higher to 75.22, but it's Alibaba for the win. Disney didn't really hold out too much for us there today. So you can see like we have a little downtick there as well. So Disney comes into 94. We take some out in the 20s before eventually losing it. And it finishes the day near this bottom for Disney. A quick little look at where Netflix finished the day before we're out of here. We're going to still do roll call, so get ready for that. Sean's tweets today, we'll pass that. We have a few interesting ones, but there's Netflix again. Huge monster today. Watch out for 560 if that can come into play. That was the stopping spot there for Netflix. I probably should have sold some of that, but we didn't. We like Netflix. All right, who's still here? We're about to find out. Roll call. Was that loud enough there, Ramin, for you? All right, who's here on roll call? We'll do this real quick, okay? Because we got to get out of here. It's 4:31. Or 4:32, and making Ramin upset is not a positive experience. All right, she's really super nice. Here we go. Roll call. If you have the Ramin camera, we can show you sitting there working the board. It's me, Ramin, Obi, and Kat right now. Wayne is still there. Hey, Wayne, he's getting out of here right now. All right, here we go. It's roll call time real quick, and you can just flash your view whenever you want. Bristol, you're welcome, Bristol. Benton C is here. The Skips is here. Sunil, what's that? Keep going. I know you've done yourself. CompuCare team. Juan Padilla is here as well. Cheat Code is here. Streamlab is here. Lucic is here. Stop trying to gift it to me, but it's working. Kimberly Yang. What's up, Kimberly? I don't recognize you. Kat is here. Kat, get over here and say hi to everybody. Brian Thompson. Dr. Craig Stevens is here. Or get on this, get on that. There they are. There's Kat and Ramin. Here we go, baby. They're both in the building, so that's really nice. All right, great. The Piper's here. Yo, what's up, Marissa? Is she here? Shout out to everybody that's in the building as well. Yeah, that's right. We got hockey practice. Jody, Vanilla Man, Rich Naples, Annette Tang. Everybody's here. I got to thank you all for being here with us, man. We have over 2,700 watching right now live. You're rocking with the best. Traders stay late. I can't thank you enough. It was Tesla, it was IBM, it was ServiceNow, it was everything. Ciao, Kat, we're almost out of here as well. I want to thank everybody for watching. Go over to @TraderTV Sean. We have a great reel from yesterday's show as well, all about Netflix, where we nailed those earnings. We nailed Tesla today. What a great day. I'm almost out of my voice right now, but we got water coming through. Maybe I have to have some of those Advils that I gave Neil. I got to get hit on the head with that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. That's a wrap right now. I'm back live tomorrow at 8:30. Have a great evening, and I'll see you then. Ciao, everybody.